Flames devour wooden houses under the dark night sky as terrified villagers flee desperately, smoke rising thickly while screams echo and chaos spreads everywhere. Armed attackers command ruthless slaughter, shouting to take everything and let none escape. Villagers scatter in panic as fire and violence consume their lives. Amidst fiery destruction, villagers cry for their children, begging mercy while chaos surrounds. Voices tremble with despair, urging others to flee before inevitable death. A terrified villager kneels, clasping hands in desperation, pleading for mercy as shadowy soldiers loom over him with weapons glinting menacingly under firelight. Another villager begs frantically, offering his child for sparing, voice cracking with terror, clutching a young figure while enemies stand unmoved, watching coldly. A ruthless voice mocks mercy, considering briefly before declaring withdrawal, indifference lingering in tone as despair intensifies. Victims remain helpless before overwhelming violent force. Cruel laughter follows as the soldier silences desperate pleas, dismissing noises bothersome, blade raised without hesitation to kill, hopelessness consuming all around. Smoke thickens over devastated ground as corpses lie scattered. A lone shadow stands among the carnage, aura heavy with menace, silence gripping survivors. The soldier looks shocked, clutching his arm with disbelief, eyes wide as unexpected pain strikes, confusion spreading amidst the battlefield's fiery haze. Agonized screams pierce the burning night as wounded men grasp mangled arms, their strength collapsing while terror rises, seeing death closing in mercilessly. Trembling voices curse in panic, naming Gwiyoung, fear etched in every syllable as his presence alone spreads dread among hardened barbarian warriors. The name Gwiyoung rings ominously across the battlefield, spoken with dread as enemies recall his merciless reputation, shadows tightening around as marked for death. Among the barbarians, whispers tell that anyone encountering him inevitably dies, his figure haunting them with the certainty of destruction beyond resistance. Soldiers exchange fearful glances beneath night firelight, their confidence crumbling, dread unmistakable as unseen footsteps echo heavy in the burning chaos already consuming them. His approach heralds an avoidable doom, every encounter leaving corpses scattered. Survivors whisper his name trembling, equating his presence with relentless, merciless annihilation. They brand him the Grim Reaper incarnate, embodiment of unavoidable death, his reputation spreading like wildfire, extinguishing hope before blades even meet flesh. His name means ghost shadow, each syllable etched with terror, combining apparition and darkness, symbolizing inevitable destruction born from legend and endless bloodshed. Smoke and flames swirl violently, obscuring the battlefield as villagers' cries fade. Only the aura of Gwiyoung's presence dominates amidst crackling fire and ruin. He is called Gwiyoung, whispered reverently and fearfully alike, a figure cloaked in mystery, carrying inevitability of death wherever his shadow treads silently. People argue his strength exceeds measure, saying barbarians themselves quake before him, questioning if such fearsome shadow could ever be considered an ally. Yet bitterness grows, remembering helplessness when barbarian raids struck, dismissing legendary strength as useless consolation. Despair remains etched upon those left vulnerable each season. In northern lands, winters bring dual choices: freeze in brutal cold or die under barbarian hands. Survival seems fleeting, lives wait beneath merciless fate. Villagers mutter about leaders unaware, their ignorance leaving people defenseless, simmering resentment voiced quietly, frustration seeping against indifferent governance watching suffering continue unchallenged. The cursed land remains forsaken, abandoned by nation, its people condemned to endless misery, fate sealed by cruelty of isolation and repeated bloodshed. In ruined streets, charred debris glows faintly as survivors stumble through, searching hopelessly among ashes for remnants of homes and loved ones lost. Children clutch fragments of belongings, gazes hollow, trudging past corpses and embers, hopelessness engraved upon their youth, tragedy defining their existence with unrelenting despair. A man angrily confronts another, shouting recklessly that intervening now is useless, questioning his motives, rage fueled by futility surrounding overwhelming destruction witnessed earlier. His furious glare sharpens, voice rising defiantly, anger spilling forth as if sheer emotion could oppose despair, tone breaking beneath weight of trauma. Insults lash out, calling him a hypocritical noble who appears late, anger biting bitterly at cowardice of those meant to protect yet absent. Another voice demands restraint, warning not to provoke further conflict, sharp rebuke carrying weight, yet desperation keeps emotions blazing, unwilling to submit silently. One restrains the other, insisting guilt lies with circumstances, not children, struggling violently, resisting grasp while emotions break under unbearable grief consuming every thought. Shouts erupt again, condemning actions as disgusting, fury aimed at heartless behaviour, tension brimming as despair fuels conflict amid ruins left by barbarian invasion. Narration recalls children orphaned 7 years earlier, families lost entirely to barbarian raids, haunting scars still vivid, trauma woven deep into their lives. Observers note these children never adjusted, wandering rootlessly from place to place, burdened by grief, unable to belong, adrift between tragedy and survival. Voices add more sorrow, revealing pain stretches beyond children alone, entire families left scarred, grief compounding with each new barbarian incursion devastating villages further. A woman collapsed in grief after her husband's death last year, now losing her only son to raiders, despair crushing her soul completely, irreparably broken. Others share similar fates, families shattered across years of raids, countless children orphaned, lives torn repeatedly as each invasion leaves behind nothing but grief. Witnesses acknowledge suffering grows deeper than anyone expected, burdens stretching heavier each season, despair weighing relentlessly, futures corroding under endless cycles of devastation. Survivors whisper hope, performing Gwiyoung's legend into protection, yearning desperately to manifest salvation immediately, clinging to myth as last fragile chance remaining. Torn paper hangs on village wall, characters scrolled unclearly, villagers gather confused, unable to decipher, tension mounting as official announcement remains beyond their understanding. One questions aloud uncertainly, staring at unfamiliar characters, confusion clear. Murmurs ripple through desperate crowds, their hope mixed with frustration as knowledge eludes them. Frustration rises as illiterate villagers curse an ability to read, realizing government notice demands change, anger boiling that words remain meaningless, oppression reinforced by ignorance. Someone interprets notice hesitantly, reading aloud Gwiyoung's name within proclamation, shock spreading across gathering, realization dawning that feared figure now entwines with official decree. Officials announce the king is searching for Gwiyoung, forming royal bodyguards, ordering his transfer as urgency spreads. Whispers ripple through gathered townsfolk nervously. Villagers discuss jade plaque, granting exemption without testing, possibility to fix fate by elevating status, rare chance to escape lowest class, tension fills crowd. Someone remarks Gwiyoung's fame in region, questioning who truly knows him, uncertainty spreading as rumours overwhelm facts, mystique deepening around shadowed warrior's elusive identity. Rumours abound of Gwiyoung's movements, people debate truth, recalling fragmented encounters, fear laced with doubt, reputation grows exaggerated, leaving mystery unsolved amid growing speculation. Another recalls of villagers swearing Gwiyoung's massive build exceeds 2 chocks, spreading tales of monstrous stature. His legend grows with every retelling in hushed voices. Whispers say Gwiyoung slaughters without reason, perhaps mad, no one certain if his wrath spares anyone. Doubt remains whether he fights only barbarians consistently. Listeners acknowledge no confirmation exists about him, uncertainty deepening, myths built upon fragments, stories lacking proof, leaving truth hidden behind shadows of speculation and fear. Disappointed voices call it regrettable, dismissing inconclusive tales, ordering companions to turn away, leaving questions unanswered, mystery intact, unease lingering within crowd despite forced dismissal. Beneath bare winter trees, silence spreads, landscape bleak and empty, cold wind rattling branches, desolation mirrors uncertainty surrounding Gwiyoung's existence and the despairing villager's fate. A lone figure sits quietly, posture weary, face half shadow, the room heavy with unease, silence weighing thicker than words left unspoken. A faint hand trembles, resting uneasily on fabric, hesitant gesture betraying internal turmoil, atmosphere oppressive, tension building in confined space around still figure. A lone cup rests untouched upon wooden table, steam fading into cold air, lingering emptiness mirrors isolation felt by figure beside it. A nervous voice stammers, offering unrefined rice wine, hesitating while eyes flicker uncertainly towards summer figure, tension heavy, atmosphere trembling with unspoken recognition. Another orders confidently, requesting 2 bowls, intent unshaken, turned steady despite oppressive silence surrounding table, asserting presence while directing attention firmly onto summer guests. A cautious suggestion to share tables rises, tension crackles, hesitation plain as suspicion looms, figure studies stranger intently, silence stretching uncomfortably across small room. Strangers mutter uneasily, questioning motives, some rejecting idea of sitting together, wariness thick as trust feels impossible, lingering fear surrounds ominous guests seated nearby. Challenge sharpens, force demanding clarity, question piercing tension, others stiffen, unease escalating, each word drawing atmosphere tighter as identity of stranger becomes unavoidable. The whispered name Gwiyoung escapes trembling lips. Dread saturates room, recognition surges, silence falls heavier, realization settles like blade raised above every throat. Voice confirms directly, asking pointedly if he truly is Gwiyoung, fear plain in tone, eyes widen, certainty pressing suffocatingly upon darkened figure's shoulders. Calm voice asks why assumption is made, suspicion lingers in air, tense gazes lock. Unspoken truth edging closer, weight of answer grows unbearable. A memory surfaces, someone recalling a year ago, swearing recognition, certainty shaking voice, eyes pleading for confirmation, silence pressing with overwhelming anticipation. They explain barbarians spare no one, distinguishing neither nobles nor lowest classes, cruelty consuming all equally, brutality remembered, power etched permanently across survivors' minds. The hand clenches tightly, knuckles pale, silent resolve hardens as weight of memories and accusations deepen, determination steals against crushing weight of truth. Another insists desperately, reminding Gwiyoung he once saved them, pursuit driven by gratitude, claiming years spent searching, longing for acknowledgement, voice heavy with yearning. Gwiyoung answers coldly, warning they may have wronged person, leaving some impossibility, turned dismissive, deflecting accusation without denial, unease deepens as suspicion remains unshaken. Sharp gaze narrows, asking what they truly know, voice piercing, suspicion reflecting back, pressing them into silence, words slicing deeper than denial. He quotes saying of killers burdened by souls of slain, their spirits clinging eternally, weight heavy, condemning life forever haunted by death. Conversation shifts to royal bodyguards, revelation surfaces regarding their mission, tone sharp, discussion framed in secrecy, future path bound tightly to king's command. They reveal knowledge came through father's connections, hidden truths unveiled, voice steady yet cautious, authority behind words undeniable, intentions directed firmly toward Gwiyoung's path. It is declared king's forces aim to subjugate barbarians. Northern region chosen, campaign massive, organized personally, scale immense, path forward illuminated by royal determination. Shot voice questions sincerity, disbelief heavy, yet conviction evident. Speaker vows lifelong struggle against barbarians, anger carved into every word, passion unrelenting, resolve unbroken. They mention rumors branding Gwiyoung ghost-like, terrifying barbarians with slaughter, pressing him to admit his own reasons, truth demanded urgently, weight of destiny undeniable. Proposal is made boldly, asking Gwiyoung to walk together forever, path of bloodshed united, promise to eradicate barbarian lineage entirely, future forged through vengeance. Offer intensifies, urging Gwiyoung to continue killing as before, promising resources and support, enabling him to do it more effectively, temptation cloaked in persuasion. Question arises, requesting his name, turned cautious yet insistent, pressing closer toward truth, identity hanging precariously as silence grips room heavier than air. Candlelight flickers dimly against wooden walls, shadows ripple across tense faces, silence stretches endlessly, atmosphere saturated with expectation, truth lingering just beyond revelation. Outside wind howls, rattling shutters, villagers pass unaware, oblivious to tension within, contrast stark as inside roomless hang upon single revelation. Gwiyoung is warned he may die because of alliance, yet choice remains his, willingness demanded, voice steady, offering chance despite risk of doom. Accusation sharpens, doubting Gwiyoung's resolve, questioning if he understands, dying for cause, words confront directly, pressing heavily, unyielding demand for clarity intensifies further. Flames erupt in memory, battlefield of fire and corpses overwhelms thought, shadows twist into monstrous forms, horror engraved permanently, nightmare clings unrelentingly inside mind. Gwiyoung responds firmly, claiming title directly, declaring himself, voice unwavering, acceptance heavy, identity revealed without hesitation, shadow transforms into truth undeniable, presence crushing. A companion urges another to acknowledge revelation, disbelief palpable, demanding reaction, pressing them to accept what has been declared, silence shattered by desperation. Commotion stirs outside, voices rise in confusion, crowd restless, energy builds suddenly, tension sharp, atmosphere crackles as announcement spreads rapidly among gathered villagers. People exclaim shockingly, dismissing Child's claim of being Gwiyoung, calling it madness, mocking disbelief spreads, tension mixes with ridicule, crowd uncertain of truth. Chaos heightens as multiple voices proclaim themselves Gwiyoung. Absurdity spreads, villagers scoff, confusion swells, every declaration fueling disbelief, spectacle turning into fast before crowd. Observers remark, anyone feigning Gwiyoung's name seeks shade plaque, hoping to alter fate, crowd murmurs knowingly, cynicism thick, suspicion festers amid growing spectacle. Observers scoff at ragtag group, questioning if true Gwiyoung hides among them, skepticism heavy, doubt spreads as crowd studies them with suspicion. Guards push through crowded street, commanding villagers to clear path immediately, urgency sharp, people scatter reluctantly, tension rising as voices echo commanding authority. Gwiyoung's gaze hardens as crowd shifts, his footsteps deliberate or unyielding, silence spreads around him, fear clings visibly to every hesitant villager. A voice declares openly they have come after hearing others search for Gwiyoung, bold statement amplifies tension, eyes focused directly toward shadowed figure. Another voice insists on standing together with Gwiyoung, unity declared loudly, conviction unshaken, the fear evident beneath, determination intertwined with desperation and awe. Doubtful voice demands proof, challenging boastful claimants, mocking them as loudmouths, suspicion sharpened, accusation spread, crowd grows restless, eyes dart nervously toward proclaimed Gwiyoung. Another responds with fascination, turned half amused, half testing, asking if he truly is Gwiyoung, curiosity laced with sharp scrutiny, atmosphere grows heavier. Question hangs unfinished, abrupt silence stretching, unspoken doubts thick, air suffused with unease, uncertainty clouding every word, suspicion binds moment in suffocating intensity. Confrontation sharpens, voices press for truth, challenging to prove identity, tension palpable, crowd restless, pressure builds relentlessly upon figure accused of legendary name. Finally, question pierces directly, demanding confirmation whether he is truly the ghost shadow, dread tangible, expectation suffocates, every eye locked upon looming figure. Witness insists personally seeing Gwiyoung before, demanding truth, gaze unwavering, tone firm, voice trembling faintly, determination driven by past memory fuels urgent confrontation. Discussion shifts to royal bodyguards forming elite unit tasked with barbarian subjugation, official order spreads, mission framed as national cause, voices echo resolutely. Commentary emphasizes endless warfare between Jurchen and Jurchen, vicious cycle perpetuated, nation's responsibility heavy, voice bitter, lamenting history's cruelty repeating across countless generations. Yet accusations rise, questioning king's sincerity, pointing out contradictions in policy, resentment simmers, skepticism voiced loudly, trust eroded deeply by neglect and repeated betrayal. Anger erupts, blaming nation's neglect, charging king with responsibility for suffering. Accusation strikes sharply, voice bold, truth cutting mercilessly through fragile political facade. Counterpoint acknowledges blame exists, yet insists abandoning responsibility now worsens past errors, urging correction, moral weight pressed heavily upon listeners, choice demanded urgently. Voice insists past failures matter less than present actions, pointing out Jurchen already abandoned northern region, despair settles, urgency grows, consequences unavoidable. Retort filled with mockery rejects defense, demanding king himself come speak truth aloud, voice mocking bitterly, scorn rings, escalating confrontation, tension crescendos dangerously. A voice insists that is precisely why truth must be spoken, tone urgent, frustration sharp, audience unsettled, intensity rises as accusations collide. Shadows lengthen as figures shift uneasily, crowd murmurs nervously, energy thickens, anticipation heightens, something ominous presses as confrontation builds without resolution imminent. Shock strikes, exclamation loud, voices falter, silence ripples abruptly, disbelief pierces moment, confusion unsettles crowd, sudden twist rattles atmosphere entirely, tension peaks unsteadily. Gasps echo violently, noise swells chaotic, words lost in clamour, faces twist, realization dawns unevenly, confusion reigns, atmosphere spins uncontrollably beyond restraint. Revelation stuns all Sejong, king himself, stands revealed, astonishment erupts, disbelief thick, whispers scatter, shock grips every villager as authority manifests undeniable before their eyes. Torches flicker dimly against palace walls, silence hangs, anticipation trembles thick, atmosphere charged with reverence and fear, crowd frozen awaiting royal decree. Loyal retainers cry sire, vying urgently, versus unified in recognition, reverence palpable, acknowledgement sharp, all echoes, figure radiates sovereign presence commanding obedience absolutely. Title appears, Sejong Yidu, fourth king of Jurchen, name etched solemnly, aura commanding reverence, his reign embodied through presence, majesty undeniable before all. Crowd gasps in disbelief, stammering her, realization heavy, astonishment undeniable, silence crushes suddenly, weight of truth crushes, hesitation, authority overwhelms. Voice barks sharply, demanding Gwiyoung kneel immediately before king, command absolute, weight of authority undeniable, silence grips as crowd watches impending compliance or defiance. Voice recalls events following posted notice, rumours spreading, speculation rampant, tension spiralling, crowd shifting uneasily, questions mounting regarding Gwiyoung's true identity, anticipation mounting. Witness confirms, swearing personally seen Gwiyoung, words resolute, testimony sharp, crowd murmurs louder, certainty grows, atmosphere charged with anticipation pressing for undeniable proof. Survivor explains barbarian storm previous night, chaos vivid, memory raw, villagers slaughtered mercilessly, fear lingers, grief heavy, survival rare amid overwhelming devastation. They proclaim Gwiyoung saved them, shielding mother and child directly, testimony heartfelt, gratitude overflowing, eyes shining with conviction, crowds waste believing heroic truth. Officials acknowledge surviving witness, important sharp, pointing directly toward Gwiyoung's presence, urgency heavy, recognition spreads, focus converges, all eyes press judgment toward accused figure. Clouds darken above as night deepens, ominous atmosphere grows, torches flare, air heavy with suspense, dread looming as villagers exchange weary glances uneasily. Sudden alarm spreads, someone shouts about barbarian, voice trembling, fear surges, accusations rise, chaos builds, panic threatens to unravel fragile order completely. Confusion deepens, villagers question why barbarian appears, disbelief sharp, calling him demon-like, unease thickens, division sharpens within crowd, suspicion intensifies dangerously. Witness insists so Gwiyoung among barbarians, certainty unwavering, accusation pointed, voice loud, conviction undeniable, crowd gasps collectively, distrust sharpens painfully. Horrified voice declares Gwiyoung tore apart Jurchen people, savagely killing indiscriminately, charge brutal, crowd reels, fear escalates, accusations spread wild, atmosphere teeters into frenzy. Officials confront Gwiyoung, demanding explanation for accusations, tension thick, eyes narrow, voices stern, challenge issue directly, atmosphere suffocates under pressing weight of judgment. Another sneers, remarking on Gwiyoung's luck being captured, voice mocking, confidence sharp, crowd murmurs, hostility thickens, fate pressing heavily upon accused. Some concede truth may lie within testimony, admitting if accusations proven, Gwiyoung alone not entire problem, scope of issue broadens, suspicion deepens. Threat emerges from barbarian, vowing to kill king immediately, declaring intent to unify Jurchen through bloodshed, words venomous, atmosphere electrifies, danger imminent, violence impending. Officials cry outrage, voices sharp, disbelief ring, crowd erupts, accusations escalate, anger surges, fury directed against bold challenger, atmosphere trembles dangerously. Gwiyoung recalls warning, remembering told TL he might die because of him, realization sharp, weight of words settles painfully, fate unavoidable. Soldiers denounce opponent as insane, fury boiling, voices condemn loudly, declaring no place for such madness on Jurchen soil, anger absolute, defiance resolute. Flames flicker against crumbling walls, shadows stretch across battleground, silence lingers momentarily, atmosphere heavy, next act of violence imminent, inevitability looming near. Gwiyoung's eyes blaze, muscles tense, resolve sharp, aura menacing, intensity unyielding, focus absolute, atmosphere brims with violence unrestrained, storm ready to explode. Battle erupts violently, blades clash under darkened sky, energy surges, screams echo, momentum relentless. Gwiyoung strikes furiously, scene drenched in chaos and bloodshed. Gwiyoung's silhouette emerges from swirling chaos, body tense or radiating menace. Onlookers shudder as atmosphere shifts ominously toward inevitable violence. He exhales heavily, muttering guttural sounds, lips curling, eyes narrowing, tension brimming as his presence crushes weaker men trembling around battlefield. Blood streaks across ground, corpses fall in, smoke rising above battlefield, silence hanging momentarily, broken by anticipation of next violent strike. His hand clenches violently, blood dripping between fingers, each movement deliberate, eyes fixed, determination unyielding, aura suffocating those nearby with roar of fear. Soldiers recoil, shouting accusations, demanding explanation, voices trembling yet defiant, challenging Gwiyoung's actions, fear battling bravado, chaos escalating sharply in atmosphere already saturated. Commanders bark orders, yelling for troops to run at him together, voices desperate, coordination attempted despite fear dominating soldiers' movements. A terrified cry echoes abruptly, voice breaking mid-syllable, sheer terror ripping through tension, enemy faltering before impending strike crashes violently. Blades clash furiously, sparks fly under moonlight, Gwiyoung strikes swift, enemies stagger, overwhelmed, momentum one-sided, violence mercilessly relentless in every motion. Soldiers flung aside brutally, body twisting midair, impact crashing violently onto hard earth, screams fading amidst chaos still unfolding. Gwiyoung roars, demanding death, his blade cleaves through resistance, brutality merciless. Desperation of foes meaningless before overwhelming force unleashed without hesitation. Soldiers scream in horror, calling Gwiyoung a monster. Eyes wide, morale collapsing, dread tightening grip as realization of hopeless battle spreads quickly. Blood sprays across ground, corpses litter battlefield, weapons scattered broken, silence deafening, survivors' expressions twisted in disbelief, carnage undeniable before their eyes. A horrified soldier mutters way aloud, voice trembling, unable to comprehend massacre. Despair deepens as futility presses upon every remaining fighter. Another curses own foolishness, lamenting ignorance, regret sharp, realization too late, hopelessness overwhelming, death imminent under Gwiyoung's merciless strikes. Onlookers gasp, realizing vengeful spirits cling to Gwiyoung, each death feeding his shadow, ghostly or thick, souls bound eternally in his presence. Bards panic, chatting to escort King quickly, demanding Lee Soon-won's presence, urgency desperate, chaos spreads as protection for sovereign falters under weight. Gwiyoung confronts Monarch directly, mocking question sharp, asking where supposed King intends to flee, defiance stinging, accusation cutting deeply before fearful court. He seizes his weapon coldly, vowing apology to fallen countrymen in afterlife, words sharp with conviction, determination to strike Monarch unwavering, aura fierce. Smoke swirls across field, corpses motionless, tension suffocates survivors, silence unbearable, dread sharpens, atmosphere thick with inevitability of further violence. Gwiyoung lunges, striking directly at Monarch, war demanding King of Jurchen die, force absolute, intent lethal, crowd gasps in horror. A desperate scream breaks moment, voices cry aloud, disbelief piercing scene, terror surges as attack continues unrelenting. Dust rises, silhouettes clash furiously, blurred motion overwhelming, shockwave spread through stunned observers, chaos unpredictable, outcome uncertain. Gwiyoung pauses briefly, remarking strike nearly instantaneous, acknowledging Dunny's intervention. Recognition sharp, tension remains thick, violence still imminent. Accusations rise, enemy condemned as barbarian, insult spat bitterly, hatred heavy, fear cloaked within anger, defiance masking despair. Gwiyoung's shadow looms tall, steps deliberate, aura consuming, presence suffocating, silence hangs, dread saturates every hesitant heartbeat. A wounded soldier gasps painfully, clutching chest, staggered breath heavy, strength failing, eyes dimming, life draining slowly, despair visible. Weapon drags along ground, screeching metallic sound pierces silence, intent unmistakable, violence brimming in every heavy step forward. Defiant accusation bursts aloud, demanding who Gwiyoung is, outrage mixed with terror, futile bravado trembling beneath absolute dominance pressing relentlessly. Gwiyoung slams enemy brutally, crushing resistance, strike echoing loud, cry silenced instantly, force undeniable, audience recoils, horror spreads. Enemy recognizes him, voice shocked, calling him child from past, disbelief evident, revelation piercing tension, history resurfacing. Gwiyoung snarls, demanding again, questioning who he truly is, repeating frustration, voice sharp, defiance blazing, identity challenged openly. His steps echo across courtyard, shadow lengthening, silence gripping, anticipation unbearable, dread builds awaiting further strike. Eyes widen as target located, recognition sudden, Gwiyoung's figure locking upon prey decisively, next strike inevitable. Gwiyoung declares identity firmly, announcing he's real Gwiyoung, voice resonant, conviction unyielding, presence undeniable, every eye fixed upon him. Smoke curls around battlefield, blood dripping, corpses strewn, tension heavy, silence oppressive, violent aftermath suffocating. Gwiyoung growls, body trembling, exhale harsh, voice trained, agony mingled with rage, presence still overwhelming. He repeats declaration furiously, insisting he is true Gwiyoung, voice louder, demand sharper, tone unwavering, defiance burning. He roars, proclaiming I am Gwiyoung, denouncing opponent as fake, conviction absolute, authority radiating, truth hammered brutally into crowd. Shadows stretch across ruined ground, corpses still, torchlight flickers, silence broken only by distant cries, atmosphere thick with aftermath of destruction. Gwiyoung snarls, mocking timing, words heavy, eyes sharp, defiance resonant, dominance undeniable. He condemns foes as Jurchen's enemies, declaring sole purpose arrival was to kill them, words sharp, intent absolute, vengeance unrelenting. His voice demands death together with king, strike imminent, or a fierce, execution inevitable, atmosphere suffocating under finality. Night sky darkens, smoke rising endlessly, silence swallows battlefield, dread lingers, finality sharp, violence aftermath staining all. Gwiyoung warns enemy talks too much, promising instant death, tone sharp, eyes murderous, or pressing, overwhelming dread freezing opponent's movement completely. A fist swings violently, impact heavy, body twisting, cry escaping abruptly, blow crashing resistance, clash escalating further in brutal intensity. Blood splatters across ground, weapon arcs swiftly, steel gleaming under torchlight, enemies recoil, disbelief etched in their terrified eyes. He pivots sharply, movements fluid, strike cutting down opponent with precision, body collapsing lifelessly, silence briefly broken by echoing impact. Survivors shout furiously, demanding Gwiyoung die, anger masking fear, desperation sharp, commands repeated, tension overwhelming, atmosphere drowned in violence. A soldier screams arg, body struck, pin raw, limbs contorting unnaturally, life fading, violence cascading mercilessly across battlefield. A blade pierces through flesh, momentum unrelenting, crimson spilling heavily, chaos deepens, eyes widen in horror, violence unstoppable. Gwiyoung advances relentlessly, weapon raised, or suffocating, blood dripping steadily, enemies stumble backwards, cries filling smoke-choked air. He bellows fiercely, roar vibrating through crowd, power absolute, presence crushing, soldiers falter, confidence collapsing, inevitability pressing. Officials shout questions, demanding explanation, eyes locked accusingly, voices frantic, demanding truth whether Gwiyoung caused carnage spreading relentlessly. Lee Simon arrives late, reprimanded harshly, accused of delay despite danger, defense offered, citing only following royal command faithfully. Voice Dunny warns Gwiyoung must not kill, reminding orders exist, insisting responsibility remains, tension sharp, authority pressing. Further reminder echoes, urging not to take life, valley lies beyond, plea steady, conviction pressing, death restrained momentarily. Shadows deepen across courtyard, tension pressing, silence heavy, figures frozen, uncertainty lingering, atmosphere suffocating. Gwiyoung bows reluctantly, acknowledging Majesty's command, voice constrained, defiance muted temporarily, compliance reluctant yet clear. Torches flicker under night sky, breeze cold, silence returning briefly, air weighted with unease, calm deceptive. Gwiyoung grips blade tighter, knuckles pale, restrained heavy, breath sharp, fury contained yet burning. He exhales slowly, rage controlled narrowly, intent simmering, decision deferred, storm caged within. Soldiers exchange anxious glances nervously, uncertain, confusion clear, or waiting direction, silence unbearable. Night stretches long, moon dim, faint stars obscured, battle's aftermath lingering, dread persistent. Enemy cries die, weapon raised furiously, desperation heavy, strike wild, futility evident, chaos sharpens. Another lunge screaming D, madness overtakes, fear twisting into reckless, charge futility clear, terror gripping. Yet another bellows die, hysteria spreading, voices echoing frantically, desperation flooding, inevitability pressing. Blaze clash violently, sound shrill, desperation collides with unyielding defense, sparks shower ground. Officials scold furiously, calling crazed defiance madness, reminding royal order spared Gwiyoung's life, fury directed sharply, commands emphasized. Gwiyoung snarls bitterly, pointing to devastation, demanding they see hell created, voice raw, fury uncontained, anguish searing. He declares barbarians created this hell, suffering endured countless times, pain repeated endlessly, scars permanent, fury unrelenting. He recalls past vividly, village burned, people slaughtered, parents killed brutally, hatred etched deeply, vengeance eternal, grief consuming. He mocks sparing lives, scoffing bitterly, insisting tearing enemies apart rightful, mercy absurd, vengeance demanded, fury sharp. He vows to slice every last one, calling brother, tone violent, determination final, promise merciless. Darnay pleads desperately, urging enough, begging brother stop, tone trembling, fear heavy, desperation absolute. Darnay repeats plea, fear intensifying, confessing terror, insisting enough, voice breaking, anguish piercing. Confusion rises, others demand explanation, questioning actions, disbelief mounting, chaos escalating. Figures stumble, breath ragged, exhaustion overtaking, determination fading slightly, silence pressing. A man begs, offering himself, requesting sister Darnie spared, pleading for her chance at new life, desperation searing. Question rises sharply, accusing his motives selfish, promotion gained only because of sister, bitterness sharp, contempt undisguised. He defends, saying in this hell at least sister deserves normal life, voice pleading, conviction absolute. Royal voice rejects, declaring disapproval, decision final, mercy withheld, tone stern, judgment absolute. He questions angrily, wondering if punishment stems from disobedience or striking majesty before, voice bitter, grievance sharp, frustration boiling. Rebuke follows coldly, accusing ambition rooted in sister, disapproval explained, rejection absolute, authority reinforced. Gwiyoung demands answer, anger piercing, voice sharp, refusal challenged directly, atmosphere heavy. Final words cut sharply, commanding surrender, reminding gratefulness for life spared after disobedience, tone authoritative, finality crushing. Darnie pleads softly, urging brother to return, tension heavy, sorrow clear, voice trembling, desperation heartfelt. Moon rises, night sky silver, wind chills, shadows stretch long, atmosphere still, moment reflective. Brother asks white truth hidden, confusion heavy, voice uncertain, sorrow biting, tension unresolved. Closing narration condemned shame, labeling action shameless, voice bitter, judgment scathing, shame final. Moon glows above night sky, silver light spinning across trees, silence deep, air heavy, shadows long, atmosphere tense, foreboding moment looms. Gwiyoung stands solemnly, eyes fixed, expression grim, night breeze rustling, determination etched across face, or strong, purpose unwavering. Darnie pleads softly, asking brother to act freely, questioning reluctance, voice quivering, concern sharp, bond between siblings heavy. Gwiyoung questions sharply, demanding reason, recalling shared knowledge, pressing importance, insistence strong, obligation unshaken, voice stern. He remembers promise made after parents' deaths, vowing to protect always, father's words guiding, conviction carved into heart, vow unbroken. He repeats oath firmly, promising protection no matter what, voice steady, aura resolute, assurance offered, determination absolute, strength radiates. Darnie smiles gently, thanking brother for years of protection, relief visible, warmth spreads, gratitude deep, affection heartfelt, bond enduring. She adds softly she feels happiness by his side, voice trembling, comfort evident, shared closeness emphasized, bond irreplaceable. Trees sway under pale moon, leaves whisper quietly, cool wind brushes, stillness returns momentarily, night cloaked in an easy calm. Gwiyoung calls urgently, voice sharp, tension rising, urgency clear, protective instinct surging, atmosphere restrained, threat imminent. Enemies shout Darnie's name mockingly, attack misses narrowly, strike wild, danger sharp, confrontation ignites. They taunt, reminding Gwiyoung he killed Makin, mocking foolishness, explaining death reveal location, threat sharpening, tension heavy. Confusion spreads among enemies, one shouts irrationally, disbelief evident, accusations erratic, madness brooming, atmosphere chaotic. Darnie calls desperately, voice breaking, eyes wide, fear consuming, tone trembling. Gwiyoung warns, shouting behind, urgency sharp, protective instinct overwhelming, danger immediate. Blades glint beneath moonlight, stands ready, foes prepare ambush, danger escalating, conflict unavoidable. Gwiyoung braces himself, expression hardened, aura fierce, muscles tense, strike anticipated, danger palpable. Shock surges, Gwiyoung shouts Darnie's name, confusion heavy, voice desperate, realization devastating, disbelief raw. Darnie whispers weakly, reassuring brother she's okay, tone faint, body trembling, resolve fading, warmth fleeting. She repeats softly, voice fragile, smile faint, words fading, struggle apparent, moment tragic, bond piercing. Enemy sneers, declaring another front to kill, intent cruel, bloodlust evident, mockery sharp, malice unrelenting. They scold harshly, saying he should have thought before acting, shouting die, blade raised, strike imminent, cruelty heavy. Clouds drift slowly across pale moon, night heavy, silence broken by distant cries, tension brooding. Gwiyoung mutters softly, voice restrained, tone dark, fury simmering beneath, despair knowing, vengeance growing. Shadows stretch unnaturally, battlefield scarred, corpses scattered, eerie quiet lingers, dread suffocating. Enemy mocks, daring Gwiyoung again, warning death certain, arrogance thick, provocation deliberate. News spreads Darnie is dead, words heavy, despair absolute, grief shattering, sorrow consuming, tragedy final. Soldiers recognize Lee Sun-mon, disbelief sharp, shock immense, questioning why master swordsman here, astonishment consuming. Orders shouted, retreat demanded, urgency sharp, soldiers scramble backward, formation breaking, fear overwhelming. The man protests, asking what others are doing, disbelief heavy, frustration evident, situation unraveling rapidly. Voice sharp, demanding answer, question shouted angrily, tension flaring, confrontation rising, unease thick. Gwiyoung responds coldly, vowing to kill every last one, tone lethal, words biting, vengeance consuming. Flames flicker across shattered battlefield, embers glow faintly, smoke thickens, remnants heavy, despair palpable. Soldiers exchange uneasy glances, hesitation visible, resolve wavering, fear evident, collapse imminent. Witness cries out, recognizing Lee Sun-mon, disbelief shaking voice, shock absolute, revelation spreads. They describe him as equal to Choi Yoon Duk, astonishment sharp, fear heavy, confusion spreading. Another insists news must be spread, urgency immediate, importance heavy, voices sharp. Wind rustles tree branches, night deepens, tension thick, silence pressing, unease lingering. Stars glimmer faintly above, moonlight wanes, battlefield hush, silence pervasive, aftermath haunting. A hand steadies bow, fingers tightening firmly, weapon drawn, intent sharp, strike inevitable. Gwiyoung snarls bitterly, calling enemy bastard, rage raw, hatred pouring, fury unyielding. Bowstring snaps taut, arrow release, flight swift, lethal intent sharp, vengeance unleashed. Gwiyoung staggers forward, blood dripping, eyes hollow, breath heavy, night foresting closing, despair rising, determination faint but unbroken despite agony. Vision flickers faintly, pain overwhelming, body trembling, memories bleeding into reality, shadows pressing, resolve thinning, voice quivers. He stares at reflected image, focusing sharply on wounded eye, hatred simmering, vengeance forming, pain piercing deep. Whispers furiously, recalling strike aimed for sister, rage erupting, grief mingling, vow sharpened, resolve absolute. Night wind cuts sharply, branches swaying, chill pressing, battlefield sense thick, silence heavy, dread palpable, moment looming. Torchlight flickers unevenly, shadows stretch across forest floor, air heavy, unease pressing, figures waiting. Soldiers question nervously, confirming Gwiyoung moved toward enemy chief, confidence masked with doubt, voices low. Officers argue heatedly, warning dangers of appointing boy informer, tension sharp, accusation biting, atmosphere pressing. A soldier mutters, calling Gwiyoung shadow, all mixed with fear, reputation chilling, whisper spreading. Enemy greets him mockingly, smirk sharp, voice laced with menace, threat dripping, confidence false. Gwiyoung tightens grip, eyes narrow, breath sharp, resolve steady, aura menacing, silence taut. Someone cries Donnie's name desperately, voice cracking, terror flooding, despair piercing. Another screams frantically, brother called, desperation searing, grief raw, disbelief overwhelming. Donnie stumbles forward, disbelief heavy, proclaiming majesty saved her, voice trembling, relief fragile, fear still present. She bows gratefully, thanking majesty profusely, voice uneven, gratitude deep, hope momentary, survival fragile. Soldier questions cruelly, mocking Gwiyoung, demanding if he is happy seeing sister alive, tone scathing, malice sharp. Gwiyoung freezes, words caught, confusion rising, disbelief consuming, heart-wrenching, silence heavy. Trees lean dark, frost glistens, night pressing, shadows stretching, silence heavy, dread growing. Soldiers whispered directions, pointing near, suspicion mounting, hunt tightening, tension thick. Gwiyoung glances sharply, hearing movement, unease pricking senses, suspicion rising, danger imminent. He clenches jaw, muttering softly, disbelief tinged with fury, rage simmering. Silence hangs unnaturally, heartbeat echoes, dread immense, mind spirals, memories bleed, confusion suffocates. Officer snarls bitterly, demanding answers, accusing Gwiyoung of slashing sister, sneers sharp, cruelty heavy. He whispers hollowly she will revive anyway, voice broken, denial clinging, despair crushing. Voice booms furiously, commanding him to think, shouting desperately, urgency sharp, disbelief pressing. Gwiyoung roars back angrily, calling bastard, fury spilling, grief fueling, defiance unyielding, voice roar. Soldier recalls Jurchen invasion, naming Gwiyoung sole survivor, voice cold, revelation heavy, truth cruel. They press further, cruelly mentioning sister, voice cutting, accusation heavy, despair absolute. Soldier declares she died that day, revelation merciless, truth cruel, word shattering, hope crush, voice final, silence deafening. Memories fracture violently, visions blur, confusion spirals, reality splitting, grief suffocating, despair boundless. Mocking voice presses further, questioning sister's survival, tone piercing, cruelty relentless. They claim Donnie exists only within his memories, delusion haunting, torment brutal, disbelief rising. Gwiyoung screams Donnie's name, voice shattering, agony tearing through, grief insurmountable. He calls desperately again, searching frantically, voice broken, despair absolute, loss crashing. Soldier explains investigations confirmed, all accounts declaring same, voice cold, judgment final, cruelty deliberate. They claim he cannot endure sister's loss, branding him unfortunate child haunted, delusion evident, cruelty sharp. Gwiyoung cries in disbelief, shouting nonsense, rejection fierce, grief consuming, voice trembling. He insists others saw it too, recalling massacre together, clinging desperately, denial desperate, plea frantic. He adds bitterly they saw even a government office, voice breaking, proof insisted, desperation sharp. Gwiyoung insists everyone witnessed, eyes wide, fear heavy, words trembling, voice strained. He appeals to General Lee Sun-moon, demanding recognition, recalling arrows, proof undeniable, voice cracking. Voice booms back coldly, declaring he was alone, truth final, denial shattered, despair infinite. Donnie shouts furiously to be released, voice sharp, glare defiant, refusing humiliation, disgust dripping, body tense. Stammering voice calls Donnie hesitantly, tone worried, fear surfacing, confusion spreading, doubt heavy. Others cry in shock, questioning sudden madness, disbelief rising, confusion rampant, eyes wide. Another demands desperately to know Donnie's intentions, suspicion sharp, anxiety high, uncertainty spreading. Torchlight flickers dimly, shadows stretch across walls, voices echo faintly, urgency heavy, silence oppressive. Command roars clearly, ordering Gwiyoung to protect Donnie, duty emphasized, desperation evident. Repeated verb presses harder. Whatever happens, Gwiyoung must protect sister. Command final, burden absolute. Gwiyoung stands silent, eyes dark, weight unbearable, decision unspoken, tension sharp. He grips tightly, breath heavy, resolve forming, obligation heavy, heart pounding. Darkness thickens, night air heavy, silence suffocates, dread builds, moon faint. Step echoes softly, movement slow, tension unbroken, vigilance sharp. Gwiyoung breathes unevenly, exhaustion pressing, resolve steady, eyes scanning. Shadows loom long, figures waiting, confrontation imminent, danger close. Cold wind sharpens, unease spreads, hostility heavy, fear present. Gwiyoung pants harshly, body straining, exhaustion crushing, determination unyielding. He vows bitterly not to let them win, determination blazing, promise etched, voice shaking. He stumbles slightly, legs heavy, pain cutting, perseverance burning, will unbroken. Old man recognizes Gwiyoung, exclaims with shock, disbelief sharp, recognition dawning. He confirms in all Gwiyoung is alive, voice trembling, relief mingling, shock clear. He questions if only Gwiyoung and Donnie survived, wondering if entire village perished, grief palpable. He recalls bitterly barbarians dragged away, mother and killed father, memory piercing, sorrow sharp, hatred endless. He explains they hid under floor, survived barely, grief heavy, despair evident, pain fresh. Gwiyoung lowers gaze, sorrow pressing, silence heavy, memory searing. Fire burns dimly nearby, shadows long, night pressing. Gwiyoung clenches fists, hatred silent, vow unspoken. He notices Donnie still breathing faintly, relief momentary, urgency immediate. They panic, realizing wound grave, struggling desperately, urgency sharp, fear overwhelming. Someone insists boat waits at key, path to escape clear, hope urgent. Voice urges physician quickly, treatment vital, time fleeting, desperation sharp. Gwiyoung nods curtly, resolve hardened, determination clear, urgency alive. He moves swiftly, carrying weight, breath heavy, stride firm. Moon glimmers faintly, night air biting, silence heavy, danger looming. Gwiyoung pushes forward, urgency sharp, determination alive, strength unwavering. Shadows flicker close, pursuit inevitable, peril near. Forest looms, dense branches stark, wind heavy, pursuit near. Gwiyoung strains forward, burden heavy, pace steady, urgency pressing. Soldiers shout loudly to chase after him, order sharp, pursuit relentless. Enemy movement stirs, torches flare, chase tightening. Diary groans weakly, body trembling, voice faint, suffering immense. Gwiyoung cries to hold on, swears to save, desperation rising. Soldiers grumble, losing trail, frustration sharp, muttering angry, tension taut. Torch ignites suddenly, fire arrow loose, danger imminent, pursuit fierce. Command rings harshly, demanding no doubt shoot fire arrows, urgency absolute. Sparks scatter violently, night sky lit, flame spread. Gwiyoung grits teeth, determination unbroken, anger flaring, breath heavy. He pants heavily, chest heaving, exhaustion sharp, resolve alive. River glimmers darkly, current swift, boat rocking, escape fragile. Gwiyoung screams Donnie's name desperately, voice breaking, plea raw, grief consuming. He staggers forward, whisper trembling, disbelief crushing, sorrow sharp. Gwiyoung stares stunned, body shaking, heart breaking, silence absolute. Gwiyoung sinks into dark waters, reaching desperately, whispering Donnie's name, despair consuming, grief choking, body trembling, resolve crumbling. His hand slips weakly, water pressing, exhaustion overwhelming, sorrow infinite, hope fading, struggle futile. Darkness envelops entirely, consciousness blurring, memories collapsing, heart breaking, silence drowning. Visions flicker faintly, Donnie's face appearing, smile haunting, illusion piercing, grief rising. Gwiyoung convulses, tears streaming, scream tearing from chest, agony echoing. Cold waters engulf, body limp, current swallowing, despair endless. Flash of face pierces through, haunting vision, memory burning. Fingers claw futilely, hope fragile, darkness heavy. Breath fades, anguish crushing, silence suffocates, grief final. His cry echoes unheard, sorrow infinite, despair absolute. Gwiyoung screams repeatedly, denial fierce, rejection absolute, agony unending. He gasps brokenly, refusing, voice trembling, sorrow searing, denial sharp. King admits failing to protect Gwiyoung's family and village, apologizing deeply, grief genuine, guilt sharp, regret heavy. He urges blame on himself and the nation, voice solemn, burden shared, sorrow evident. He commands Gwiyoung to release guilt, let go sister, free himself from grief, voice resolute. Donnie's voice calls softly, or Bernie, reaching gently, illusion tender, heart aching. Vision of Donnie speaks again, saying it hurts greatly, voice faint, sorrowful, lingering. Gwiyoung clutches chest, agony sharp, memory piercing, voice echoing. He whispers dearly, calling Donnie his beloved sister, grief raw, eyes tearing. Voice reminds him he hasn't grown since that tragic day, stagnation haunting. Donnie's voice repeats tenderly, or Bernie, intimate haunting, grief unbearable. Gwiyoung collapses, whispering thanks, tears flowing, relief mingling with sorrow, acceptance near. Snow falls gently, silence heavy, night endless. Blood spills suddenly, body jerks, pain sharp, wound deep. His face twists violently, agony etched, scream trapped. Darkness looms again, silence spreading, despair pressing, body weak. Gwiyoung kneels low, shadows heavy, sorrow deep, silence pressing. King urges him to abandon hatred, live ordinary life, offering path of peace, voice steady. He continues, warning rage will chain him, instead opening better path, urging acceptance, voice earnest. He described Northern spearhead organization formed to confront Jurchens, naming it informer, explanation solemn. King urges Gwiyoung to channel rage into serving nation as informer, protecting people, voice compelling, request weighty. He presses further, asking if Gwiyoung can find that man, voice sharp, expectation heavy. Gwiyoung recalls bitterly the one who burned their village, memory raw, voice fierce. He screams of men who killed family and Donny, voice cracking, grief pouring, hatred absolute. Gwiyoung mutters fiercely, naming that man, rage burning. He trembles violently, anger consuming, hatred unbroken. King extends Jade plaque, commanding him to accept, symbol of duty. He explains Jade grants contact when winter passes, allows reaching indirectly, command clear. He declares firmly from that moment Gwiyoung shall become informer, role fixed, destiny sealed. Scene shifts warmly, someone announces Beekseok's presence, voice casual. Another exclaims in awe, marveling, voice bright. Footsteps sound lightly, presence calm, approach steady. A companion offers Donnie food, kindness gentle, tone warm. They rest lightly, gesture tender, moment soft. Gwiyoung mutters softly, oh, acknowledging, attention caught. He agrees to eat, tone resigned, hunger faint. Companion greets warmly, asking if he has been well, voice kind, familiarity present. Conversation shifts slightly, request for tact to drink, tone casual, moment relaxed. Another complains humorously about not knowing joy of life, tone playful, mood softened. Gwiyoung sits quietly, cup before him, silence heavy, thoughts drifting, gaze lowered. A voice asks if he still suffers, tone probing, eye steady, expression firm. He answers no, not anymore, voice faint, face shadowed. Interlocutor smirks knowingly, remark short, gaze sharp. Companion offers him drink, saying he has sent his sister off for a step into adulthood, urging acceptance. General speaks, comparing fame of leaders, questioning reason for such attention, curiosity strong. Other explains liking interesting fellows, revealing King's order discovered him, intrigue sharp. They remark on killing at young age, countless records earned under that name, tone grave. Title Ghost Shadow is recalled, amazement voice, reputation acknowledged, laughter sharp. Gwiyoung asks uncertainly about meaning of his name, tone hesitant. Explanation given, Gwiyoung means precious henna for young, name warmly welcomed. Gwiyoung looks downward, thoughtful, silent eyeing. He apologizes, admitting tendency not to think deeply, voice regretful. Companion warns never to forget past, urges cleaning it away and walking forward a new path, advice firm. Tourist is raised, inviting Gwiyoung to drink bowl, cheer for new life, gesture encouraging. Gwiyoung lifts cup, silence measured, resolve forming. He affirms softly, agreeing, voice steady. Cup clinks gently, sound brief, mood shifting. Onlookers remark about his demeanor, curiosity lingers. Someone notes he has only managed one bowl, tone amused. Another remarks, saying Ghost Shadow hasn't yet become adult, chuckle sharp. Comment follows, saying challenge lack difficulty, victory empty, disappointment voiced. Banter fades, laughter uneasy, atmosphere turning. Gwiyoung lies slumped, exhaustion pressing, silence thick. Shadows shift, room hushed, breath heavy. Companion reminds Gwiyoung of earlier words, tone pointed. They urge him to make things fun, not too easy, teasing sharp. Another advises letting him sleep, not waking, voice soft. Gwiyoung stirs faintly, murmuring, eyes half closed. He whispers confusedly, noticing change, tone unclear. Startled, he realizes night has fallen, confusion sharp, time uncertain. He wonders if generally someone has left, voice uneasy. Reminder of advice repeats, forget past, clean it away, walk forward on new path, words resonant. Gwiyoung affirms strongly, declaring he won't forget, determination renewed. He recalls King's mention of royal forces recruitment, realizing it's likely about informers, deduction forming. Thought clarifies, informers are elite northern spearhead created to confront Jurchens, reputation solid. Gwiyoung vows firmly to Danny he will become informer, avenge and fulfill duty, eyes burning. Night wind stirs, silence henning, determination heavy. He exhales slowly, body tense, promise fixed. Shock hits as he realizes jade plaque given by King is missing, disbelief sharp, alarm immediate. Question arises about gathering at Mountain, atmosphere uncertain, speculation sharp. Another notes everyone from area has assembled, crowd large, energy tense. They comment even children applied, astonishment sharp, concern rising. Gwiyoung stares, jade plaque gone, expression stunned, urgency flooding. Gwiyoung introduces himself, saying he is from Ulching land, name spoken firmly, attention drawn from gathered candidates, atmosphere tense, valuation looming. Voice questions curiously, slight confusion showing, tone unsure. Gwiyoung explains jade plaque was lost en route, admits truth, test needed, suspicion raised, others judge credibility, pressure sharp. He insists King himself gave it, voice firm, gaze unwavering. Observers murmur quietly, expressions uncertain, silence tense. Officials call order, attention shifting, respect present. Proctor Kim Jang introduces himself, explains Northern spearhead recruitment, stricter standards, benefits high, risks greater, atmosphere solemn. He elaborates organization differs from existing forces, exceptional benefits balanced by harsher burdens, expectations heavy, warning issued. Kim Jang stresses this cannot be achieved by luck or tricks, tone sharp, words heavy, lesson clear. He scolds those careless enough to lose King's jade plaque, saying responsibility unbearable, pressure pressing. Instructions continue, explaining simple requirements, straightforward clarity. Test announced, retrieve red feathered arrow from mountain's peak, challenge set, competition ignited. He clarifies only 10 arrows existed top mountain, limited slots, tension sharp, danger implied. He asks if everyone understands instructions, tone firm, eye stern. Candidates murmur assent, seriousness heavy. Gwiyoung reacts startled, pardoning awkwardly, eyes wide. Orders shouted to run instantly, urgency sharp. Comment arises mocking youth among them, doubt sharp, skepticism lingering. Gwiyoung curses loss of jade plaque, anger sharp, regret strong. He recalls rules 10 hours only, must finish within ranks, pressure mounting, determination forged. Competitors surge uphill, fee pounding, struggle visible. Others grit teeth, pushing bodies forward, effort immense. Gwiyoung halts startled, surprise flashing. Opponent charges, intent fierce. Gwiyoung evades narrowly, heart pounding, danger sharp. Competitor declares trick, clarifying not everyone will pass, elimination looming. They plot to knock out rivals, chase down, steal arrows, ruthless plan set. Gwiyoung questions angrily if they understand what they're saying, disbelief heavy. They proclaim only their four will pass, exclusion absolute, tension rising. Rivals smirk confidently, eyes cruel. Gwiyoung exhales sharply, body bracing, challenge imminent. Gwiyoung crouches low, muscles tight, awareness sharpened. Opponents taunt, disbelief strong, eyes mocking. Leader praises cunning idea, calling it brilliant, admiration twisted. Gwiyoung charges forward suddenly, motion sharp. Branch snaps underweight, weapon proves weak. Enemy mocks poor weapon choice, laughing, disbelief sharp. Order shouted for others to beat him immediately, mob urged. Competitors shelve shouting, chaos loud, brawl sharp. Name of General Choi Simon called, recognition strong. Gwiyoung wonders why another stands near, remark on large turnout, astonishment sharp. Suspicion sharpens, rumors swirl, mention of low-born identity, disdain expressed, tension thick. Observers discuss seriousness of current informer selection, turn grave, eyes sharp. They search for candidate, confusion noted, doubt voiced. Gwiyoung's name mentioned, suspicion raised about jade plaque, clarification follows, truth acknowledged. Explanation given, informers elite, jade plaque's privileges bestowed by king, responsibility heavy. Gwiyoung's figure glimpsed, presence marked, silence thick. Some dismiss him as child, doubt voiced. Others argue his talent exceptional, recounting battles, survival, barbarian hunts, achievements extraordinary. Importance of actual battle experience emphasized, swordsmanship weighed. They add natural talent strengthens further, impression powerful. Conclusion reach, saying he may be literally unmatched, realization strong. Gwiyoung reacts mid-battle, eyes sharp. Opponent curses cowardice, eyes blinded, pain sharp. He staggers, clutching wound, breath ragged. Gwiyoung's gaze hardens, stands firm, determination visible. Fists fly, bodies clashing, momentum fierce. Gwiyoung exhales heavily, stance reset. Taunts drone, opponent provokes, anger sharp. Gwiyoung steadies, breathing, eyes calm. Enemy strike glances, miscalculation clear. Reminder resurfaces, rotten branch looks flashy, impact limited, lesson recalled. Gwiyoung retorts firmly, branch may still harm, nonsense dismissed. The opponent curses pain, forgetting earlier mockery, complaint loud. Shouts call for Gwiyoung's end, tension high. Low lands, body recoils, sound sharp. Gwiyoung states rotten branches hurt as much as they appear, usable weapons, conviction sharp. Rival admits one strike could suffice, fair strong. They concede, declaring success should belong to both, plea urgent. Gwiyoung refuses, calling them foolish, says only with him could chance exist, determination absolute. Rival flexes muscles, boasts trustworthiness, grin wide. He insists not an elder, age declared, pride visible. Gwiyoung acknowledges strength but says resourcefulness lacking, calls him tactician, asks name, answer given. Name Jumok resonates faintly, Gwiyoung recalls hearing before, recognition slow. Jumok suddenly requests Gwiyoung become associate, tone earnest. Gwiyoung questions, Jumok's companion uneasy, doubt present. They note strangeness, time pass. Those reaching top should have already returned, suspicion rising. Jumok suggests something happened atop mountain, uncertainty sharp, says they must confirm themselves. Agreement given, decision shared, movement planned. Warning issued about sunset nearing, urgency voiced. Gwiyoung looks thoughtful, silence brief. Dumok curses wasted plan, urges hurrying, frustration sharp. Companion asks if he must come too, hesitation present. Dumok insists. Gwiyoung reminds Dumok he wanted them as associates, tone steady. Others whisper disbelief at Gwiyoung's strength for his age, amazement voiced. They conclude he is naive, relief felt, intent to exploit him apparent, manipulation planned. The proctor declares the chosen weapon for this test, eyes narrowing, tone sharp, tension rising among gathered candidates beneath fading sunlight. Gwiyoung's stance stiffens, shadow stretched across the ground, silence heavy. Others watch cautiously, preparing their breath, sweat dripping. Shouts erupt, challengers rash, insults flung, clash imminent. Later rivals questioned harshly, accused of tricks. Proc declares with suspicion. Retort follows, mocking them for climbing mountain now, disdain sharp. Above, chaos spreads near summit, voices echoing, tension higher. Suddenly a jade plaque is spotted, realization shocks. Candidate sneers, asks if they understand significance, behavior mocked. Another laments losing own plaque, frustration voiced bitterly. Accusations rise, selfishness blamed, whispers identify Gwiyoung. Suspicion sharpens, questioning his true knowledge of jade plaque, challenge forming. They declare jade plaque signifies king's recognition, insult those unworthy, words venomous. Listener flinches, admits harshness, unease apparent. Gwiyoung identified as Yonbin-born child, accusation sharp, reminder voiced that test ignores status, condition unique. Retort follows, anger rising to demand to stop nitpicking. Gwiyoung prepares, gaze sharp, stands low, silence heavy. Challenger demands both come simultaneously, says arrow earned if acknowledged, tone confident. Ally warns Gwiyoung to step back, insists rare chance. The opponent calls it once in lifetime chance to punish privileged Yonbin without worry, grin wide. Gwiyoung's blade flashes, steel arcs swiftly. Feet slam earth, shockwave ripples outward. Opponents recoil, surprise etched across faces. Fists collide, impact rattles air. Sparks scatter, tension hangs. Blood spatters ground, rhythm fast. Someone jeers at his skill, mocks crude swordsmanship, calls it spicy. Taunt continues, says Yonbin punks lack strength, promises to make Gwiyoung kneel, insult sharp. Gwiyoung steadies blade, eyes glint cold. He strikes with sudden cry, attack fierce. Others admit expectations low, yet acknowledge surprising skill. Gwiyoung advances further, steps unbroken. Enraged opponent snarls, voice harsh. Low lens, screen tears air. Gwiyoung exhales, face shadowed, determination visible. He declares if serious actions must follow. He adds that lowly character brings consequences. He warns that reckless pride invites downfall. His words hang heavy, command absolute. Another interrupts, urging stop, saying harshness excessive. Questions Gwiyoung's intent, asks if killing truly planned. He appeals to shared identity among Joseon people, urging restraint. Gwiyoung remains silent, gaze unwavering, resolve unshaken. Gwiyoung repeats coldly he already told them, words sharp, stance unyielding, eyes steady under crimson dusk. He warns crude skills will always be exposed eventually, leaving them vulnerable before sharper blades. His opponent falters, sweat dripping, jaw clenched, fear growing. Surprise erupts as they realize something vanished, eyes dart frantically, panic spreading. They mutter that although his character may seem lossy, underestimation was mistake. Recognition follows, his skills are not crude, precise strikes cut. Chuck overtakes challenger, disbelief flooding expression. Gwiyoung advances, step steady, aura tightening. Weapon arcs through air, tension thick. Dust scatters, force lingers heavily. Someone searches desperately, eyes darting downward. Gwiyoung steps forward, shadow stretching. Blow lens, cry echoes, body shakes under impact. Gwiyoung mocks, asks if pain proves real, says repeated wild swings brought downfall. He calls their talk foolish, orders them to look behind, turn commanding. Fist whips through air, force sharp. Observers note surprising avoidance, admitting fear and narrow escape. They acknowledge his precision, eyes sharp, reading every strike clearly. They conclude firmly that this child has good eyes, capable of perceiving openings. Moreover, they remark his movements fit his body perfectly, strikes flowing naturally with sharp alignment. Gwiyoung steadies his breath, blade glinting faintly. They judge him sloppy, reckless follow through, lacking strong foundation, mistakes evident. His stance shifts, pressure heavy. Shock spreads as he unleashes sudden kick, movement unorthodox. Opponent staggers, guard broken, fear mounting. Gwiyoung exhales, lowering shoulders, calm and wavering. Rival admits grudgingly his skills deserve acknowledgement, tone strained. They analyze his unconventional attack, praising his eyes and natural physical ability, strengths undeniable. Yet correction follows, saying his execution is still improper, lacking refinement. Gwiyoung presses forward, silent heavy. Dust rises around them, shadows stretching. They say he fights like wild beasts, aggression fierce but untamed. Gwiyoung narrows eyes, blade raised firmly. They state despite natural talent, lowly birth prevented full cultivation, bitterness lingering. They declare difference between him and them, boundary absolute. Gwiyoung answers with sharp blow, sound cracking air. Opponent cries out, calling courage, voice broken. Gwiyoung scolds them, says during fighting words mean nothing, focus required. He warns firmly that otherwise they will die instantly in blink of a moment. The opponent curses, calling him a bastard, saying tricks and cheeky remarks expose arrogance under tension. He admits misjudging Gwiyoung, regretting granting even an error, now feeling cornered. His turn hardens, declaring Gwiyoung dishonoured the jade plaque and King's swords with crafty skills. Rage erupts, he threatens cutting off Gwiyoung's arm, drawing blade wildly. The observers urge retreat, saying he's insane. Gwiyoung remains unshaken. They declare once a sword is drawn, consequences demand blood, both sides prepared. Threat continues, questioning if Gwiyoung can maintain composure until end. Gwiyoung replies coldly, daring them to find out truth. Blades clash, sparks shower across ground. Gwiyoung steadies himself, breathing controlled. A powerful strike splits air sharply. Proctor intervenes, reprimanding, saying fight went too far, naming Jurchen. He scolds Gwiyoung for putting status online, drawing actual sword despite instructions. Proctor explains his duty, saying Gwiyoung was only to distinguish capable, not eliminate rivals entirely. Rules are reaffirmed, jade plaques still determine legitimacy. Attention shifts toward arrows, rules emphasized. He urges acknowledging victory, since Gwiyoung fought himself and prevailed. Gwiyoung's eyes remain sharp, silence deep. The battlefield quiets, tension fades lightly. Proctor asserts authority, reminding he alone was entrusted with supervision. He announces Group 3 has none initially passing. Murmurs rise, calling Gwiyoung a troublesome punk. Red-feathered arrow glints, attention focusing. Whispered accusations claim he pulled arrows secretly. Rules clarify if arrow retrieved, by definition he passed, bitterness spreads. Announcement declares Group 3's result stands confirmed. Gwiyoung is handed arrow, possession legitimized. Reminder echoes, Gwiyoung told to join as associate, promise recalled. Dumok's name is called firmly. It's confirmed Gwiyoung and Dumok pass first round from Group 3. Crowd stares, whispers fill air. Proctor warns against overexertion, emphasizing test-measured stamina and endurance, not destruction. Questions arise if such extreme tests suited only exceptional soldiers. Weak ones dismissed as irrelevant. Retort fires back, saying even so, an arm was nearly lost. Sunset looms, shadows stretching. Someone questions motive behind early fighting, wondering who orchestrated chaos. Dawn breaks, next day begins. Complaints rise, disbelief that test wasn't concluded yesterday, results still pending. Proctor orders silence, gathering crowd. Gwiyoung adjusts stance, preparing quietly. Murmurs ripple as someone recognizes name Yusunmo. He steps forward, introducing himself proudly. Shock spreads he is renowned Yusunmon, comrade of Choi Yun-deok, among Joseon's greatest, raising questions why he's attending selection. Gwiyoung watches quietly, expression unreadable. An arrow splits air, striking target with flawless precision before stunned crowd. Spectators gasp, marveling at accuracy from such distance. They whisper he is Jurchen's greatest archer. He boasts proudly, saying this round is easier than first. Examiner explains test, telling candidates simply to stand holding melon. Confusion arises, questioning simplicity. Rule clarified, stand still until arrow strikes melon, treat it as child's game. Examiner calls next candidate forward. One steps forward nervously. Candidate mutters determination, focusing nerves. He rationalizes shooting first, believing concentration strongest initially, chances higher. He declares readiness, hands trembling. He steadies breathing, raising melon. Crowd leans closer, waiting. Someone points nervously, asking if melon contains alcohol. Candidate reassures himself unlikely. Examiner explains again, stand firm, you'll pass if you endure until shot lands. Candidate raises melon hesitantly. His arms shake visibly. He closes eyes tightly. Arrow strikes, he screams loudly. Shock spreads, cries echo confusion. Candidate pants, calling it madness. He begs desperately for another chance, introducing himself. Examiner declares failure, unmoved. Crowd murmurs disappointment, shaking heads. Next candidate gasps fearfully. He shrieks in panic. He pleads to quit, refusing test altogether. The examiner announces his failure. Observers complain, saying passing should not allow avoidance. Proctor scolds, calling failures pathetic fools. He demands why none can attempt such simple task. Dumok steps forward, volunteering confidently. Gwiyoung warns, asking if he'll manage. Dumok smiles, saying there is always a method to succeed. Dumok analyzes test calmly, claiming he's seen solution. He reasons fear comes from sight, since Archer is Lee Sun-mon. He concludes arrow won't miss. Dumok requests shot, explaining solution is simply not looking. Crowd admires Dumok, impressed by bravery and physique. Proctor mutters, calling Dumok peculiar fool. Dumok suddenly realizes overlooked variable, panic stirring. He admits not seeing arrow makes it scarier. He begs for repositioning, pleading desperately. Spectators watch anxiously, silence heavy. Onlookers gasp, shocked someone manipulated arrow midair, calling it impossible. Examiner congratulates candidate for passing, joking nervously about fear. He announces next participant. Gwiyoung is called Girth's Shadow. Memory spread, recalling Jade Plackloss. Whisperers identify Gwiyoung as Rude Ghost Shadow, recalling his barbarian slaughters. They admit recognizing name from earlier. Jade Placktail now believe true. Observers state without Plack proof he must take test regardless. Crowd urges test continue. Examiner reminds Plack missing but test itself valuable. He instructs Gwiyoung to take position with arrow. Gwiyoung steps forward determined. Observers note Sunwon's strict fairness, reminding Plack was lost. Examiner warns Gwiyoung to relax, consequences unavoidable. He admits upcoming trial feels entertaining. He expresses curiosity toward Gwiyoung's accuracy. He highlights Gwiyoung's hidden talent. Examiner shouts for demonstration. Gwiyoung braces body focusing. Arrow narrowly misses, seemingly aimed at head. Spectators realize it was intentional targeting. Gwiyoung's breathing tightens. He realizes danger, preparing to dodge. Examiner shouts that dodging means failure, urging Gwiyoung to endure. Arrow whistles through air. Gwiyoung steadies gaze. Tension freezes. Calculate options. Gwiyoung dodges, crowd declaring failure. Wind cut sharply. Arrow blurs downward. Casts erupt. Gwiyoung catches flying arrow midair. His hand grips shaft firmly, shocking spectators. Silence follows. Eyes widen in disbelief. Gwiyoung questions whether catching arrow qualifies pass. Examiner chuckles smugly. He confirms emphatically it counts as pass. He praises Gwiyoung's strength, telling him not to disappoint. Examiner yawns, urging continuation, announcing next candidate. Torches flicker as night deepens. Examiner hiccups, drunk but insisting test continues. Assistant protests, urging delay until tomorrow, pointing out his drunkenness. Examiner laughs, claiming he'll finish instantly despite condition. Gwiyoung watches quietly. Candidates gather nervously. Examiner stumbles, someone shouts warning to dodge. Arrows loose unpredictably. Candidates scatter. Dust rises as confusion grows. Tension remains unresolved in fading light. Examiner mutters, "Oh dear," realizing situation has escalated badly. He laments aloud, saying he has gone too far. Others call out, trying to steady tension. Blades glint under fading light. Injured man reassures wound avoided critical areas, promising survival. Examiner declares candidate passes for endurance. Their tone remains bitter. He criticizes nation's rulers for treating lives like jokes, condemning corruption. His anger builds, stirring drunken tirade. He rages, including King and himself among hypocrites. Attendants remain silent, uneasy. He threatens punishment, vowing to cut tongues. He warns not to feel wronged by harshness. Shadows lengthen ominously. Choi Yoon-deok steps forward, naming Lee Soon-mon. He vows to kill him today, demanding forgiveness offered tomorrow. Yoon-deok curses Soon-mon as disgraceful fellow, drawing steel. Narration recalls Soon-mon's birth, the son of meritorious retainer. He quickly rose to military office, third-class rank. He stood beside Choi Yoon-deok, famed as absolute perfection. People hailed him with God-given talent. Trumpets unceremoniously. Title announces greatest talent of his era. He later mastered swordsmanship too, serving capably yet problematically. His flaws: drinking, crude speech, womanizing cause repeated accidents in post. He mocks elder, accusing him of pretentious airs. Yoon-deok answers firmly, revealing himself as provincial governor and Jurchen's best sword. Soon-mon sneers that Yoon-deok's dignified airs irritate him to death. He mocks, questioning who else deserves recognition. He challenges duel to prove true best sword. Soldiers tense, gripping weapons. Wind rattles banners above courtyard. Yoon-deok's gaze sharpens. Voice warns his majesty's prohibition forbids such combat. Drunk soldier taunts Yoon-deok loudly, mocking his reputation. Drums echo harshly. Torches flare in growing chaos. Ministers complain Soon-mon's endless accidents weren't punishment. They decry his undeserved rise through lineage, demanding severity. King silences them, ordering subject drop permanently. Ministers whisper shocked that he escaped punishment even once. Courtiers debate merits of retainers within Jurchen. One warns against excessive indulgence in military ranks. Officials shout angrily, demanding explanation. King orders injured child treated immediately, free of charge. Soon-mon mutters drunkenly, repeating trouble caused again. Even administrators mock that Jurchen cannot have two best. Soon-mon confronts Choi Yoon-deok directly, challenging supremacy. He insists firmly he alone is best. Crowd cries Soon-mon's name. Tension crescendos with explosive outburst. Sword clash erupts violently. Challenger snarling a wish to die. His sparks fly. Blades meet mid-air, scattering dust. Onlookers scold drunken general, urging restraint. Challenger declares he will go first. Fighter steady stances. He promises eagerly to kill opponent. Feet pound earth as duel begins. Challenger laughs wildly, shouting "Let's have at it," while slashing. Strike misses narrowly. Sword swings again furiously. Cloaks whip in momentum. Sparks scatter upward. He grits teeth. Both circle aggressively. Opponent grunts, recognizing strain. Challenger mocks elder, saying he's grown old and so. Sword glints menacingly. Combatants lock eyes with fury. Clads swirl across courtyard. Challenger bursts into laughter, swinging confidently. He roars he is Jurchen's best sword. Fallen body lies still upon dirt. Challenger triumphantly claims title as Jurchen's best sword. He mocks fallen opponent, saying responsibility never suited such a man. He snarls that now is his time. He hints he might even kill. Officials order soldiers to arrest boasting Challenger immediately. Others question what this means for ongoing test. Voices argue about proceeding with original examination. Tension rises among officials. 17th candidate fails, unable to even shoot arrow. Examiner stresses bow as Jurchen's fundamental weapon, vital for service. He suggests using melons instead for amusement. Crowd murmurs at absurd suggestion. Some mutter disbelief at lack of punishment. Reminder spreads of Summon catching arrow with bare hand. People recall arrow nearly pierced his head. Rumors spread of ghost shadow from the north. One elder urges leaving matters alone. Examiner says jade plaque matter rests with his majesty. Courtyard remains unsettled. Official declares he will personally oversee remainder of selection test. Third test introduced, one-on-one combat measuring applied force. Rule explained to victory meaningless if process unreasonable, while defeat acceptable if approach worthy. Candidates told to pick opponents carefully, hesitation visible among them. Volunteers debate nervously about suitable matches. Companions argue they should not fight one another. Murmurs ripple through waiting candidates. One man openly asks another to fight. Candidate hesitantly agrees though unsure. Others whisper no one sane would challenge Ghost Shadow. Tension weighs heavily across silent grounds. Examiner questions Gwiyoung's readiness to fight next. One challenger volunteers to face Gwiyoung directly. Observers remark on survivors' resilience against Summon's wickedness. Examiner promises to pass candidate regardless, urging him conserve energy. A candidate urgently requests permission, pleading passionately to fight alongside another fellow during the dangerous test. Companions protest, accusing him of arrogance and assuming easy victory without proper effort. Gwiyoung's name is suddenly called from nearby. Another taunts cruelly, mocking Gwiyoung about hallucinating his deceased sister's voice. Officials reluctantly decide who may fight together during this test. Opponent warns darkly that truth remains unknowable even in death, voice chilling amidst tense air surrounding the contestants. Fighters dash forward with explosive movements, dust scattering behind. One staggers briefly, muttering incoherently in strain. Blades flash violently, audience leaning forward anxiously. Combatants pivot sharply, footsteps carving into soil. Shockwave bursts outward from clash. Swords grind viciously together, sparks flying upward. Dust swirls across arena. Spectators exclaim in awe at their impressive movements. An official mutters confusion, struggling to follow unfolding fight. Others question aloud what exactly the two are doing. Swords ring sharply through tense air. Breathing grows heavier as combat continues. A sudden step shifts balance precariously. Sun glares fiercely as duel drags on. Commanding Shadow orders them to stop immediately. Officials demand explanation, realizing they are merely sparring. Admission follows they have been friends since childhood. Examiner scolds furiously, calling both complete idiots. Judge berates them, saying test requires real fight, not choreographed display. Roaring voice commands them to fight to the death without hesitation. Spectators whisper term Jurchen, meaning intense life or death combat trial. Swords clash again in violent arcs. Fighters gasp heavily, straining against fatigue. Sweat drips down foreheads, tension thick. Officials demand to know what they are doing. One fighter insists determinedly that it is not over yet. Judge reminds them opponent has not fully surrendered yet. Fighters exchange desperate glances. Announcement declares fourth contestant Gwiyoung victorious, though brutality stuns some observers. Whisper spreads that nobleman's abilities seem highly abnormal compared to others. Examiner calmly declares next match will begin soon. Gwiyoung's name is read aloud. Alongside him, Demi is also called. Gwiyoung steps forward under heavy stares. Audience murmurs uneasily whether it is acceptable they truly fight to kill. Gwiyoung exhales slowly, gaze sharp, body preparing for imminent clash under the scorching sunlight. His determined eyes harden further, signaling full commitment to fight. A man asks wordly if he is truly fine, but Gwiyoung firmly replies he is. He declares desire to face Ghost Shadow, insisting this chance may never come again. Judge orders both fighters to take positions across dusty arena ground. Loud command to start echoes across field, tension tightening instantly. Gwiyoung exhales heavily, chest rising as heart pounds under pressure. The opponent charges, muscles flexing with sudden aggression. Gwiyoung gasps, shocked by how quickly attack approached. Opponent snarls, asking if he holds a grudge against him. Gwiyoung insists he remembers never harming any Jurchen man. Enemy retorts bitterly, reminding him he has forgotten. He taunts that Gwiyoung should ask his dead sister. Fighters twist violently, bodies colliding with deafening impact. Opponent grips tightly, forcing Gwiyoung backward. Crowd chats as hip pull technique suddenly unfolds. Judge mutters recognition, noting it is an ancient wrestling move. Gwiyoung strained against crushing strength, pinning him down. Gwiyoung grits his teeth wild right across hardened soil. Sand sprays into air from powerful struggle. Spectators exclaim he's pinned completely, unable to escape opponent's hold. Gwiyoung twists desperately, sweat pouring down his jaw. Muscles bulge as he resists with everything left. Gwiyoung slams ground with fist as pain surges through ribs. Opponent looms, eyes burning with merciless intent. Gwiyoung screams, blood spewing as grip tightens further. Jerked gasps escape between clenched teeth. Groans echo, body trembling from unbearable pressure. Dust rises violently around struggling bodies. Gwiyoung coughs harshly, crimson spattering across dirt beneath him. Shadows stretch longer as crowd watches tense. Feet shuffle, pressing harder into arena ground. Opponent's hand locks deeper into strained hold. Judge observes coldly he is relentlessly targeting Gwiyoung's old wounds. Gwiyoung's back arches violently as strike lands hard. Opponent smirks, exploiting weaknesses while alternating attacks across his vulnerable sides. Judge narrows eyes, murmuring Gwiyoung's name with measured recognition. Gwiyoung steadies stance, preparing counterattack despite battered state. Opponent suddenly shouts Gwiyoung is the best, torn mocking amidst strikes. Gwiyoung snarls, retaliating with violent upward shove. Arena shakes from forceful impact. Both fighters stagger, dripping sweat onto ground. Gwiyoung growls he cannot allow fight to continue, determined to end it now. He grips fiercely, executing decisive hip pull technique. Bodies slam hard into ground under crushing motion. Gwiyoung locks position, forcing opponent down brutally. Dust scatters in heavy cloud. Groans escape pin man's throat. Hip pull maneuver repeats violently, ground trembling beneath. Fighters circle each other, dust swirling as strained breathing fills tense silence. Gwiyoung braces his stance, glaring steadily across arena. Crowd watches nervously from edge of battleground. Judge mutters astonished, noting Gwiyoung mastered hip pull simply from experiencing it once. Gwiyoung straightens, face drenched with sweat, eyes unwavering. He insists battle is over, refusing to fight further. Opponent tilts head, unimpressed by sudden declaration. Gwiyoung refuses firmly, claiming struggle has not yet ended. Observers whisper it might be wiser to avoid continuing fight. Arena dust drifts while both men prepare weapons. Gwiyoung's opponent steadies grip, blood on his hands. Someone observes weapons were never forbidden, shouting to continue. Foss criticizes harshly, questioning if this represents General Kim's true view of combat. Gwiyoung adjusts stance, defiance tightening across his jaw. Blood stains ground where previous strikes landed heavily. Gwiyoung growls in defiance, agreeing to escalate situation. He declares determination, swearing to take fight as far as needed, even to kill. Spectators cry out, calling warriors lunatics, asking if even piercing with spears is permitted. Gwiyoung steadies blade, light flashing along edge. He mutters coldly that now it will be fair against Ghost Shadow. Gwiyoung repeats determination, promising to take fight as far as killing if necessary. Voice interjects loudly, forbidding killing outright, halting escalation. Command explains weapons can be used, but enemies must be subdued, not slain. Protest rises, declaring it is too harsh and dangerous to demand restraint. Explanation follows, stressing informants are needed. Killing every barbarian would destroy chance to gather intelligence. Gwiyoung lowers blade slightly, sweat dripping to ground. Opponent sneers, accusing him of giving up. Gwiyoung denies firmly. Thighs are worn, still not understanding necessity of avoiding indiscriminate killing. Stern reminder follows, insisting absolutely not to kill any Jurchen man. Dust swirls around battered ground between them. Flames flare violently outside distant settlement. Cries erupt as villagers scream barbarians are attacking. A boy sobs, calling desperately to his father. He pleads tearfully, begging him to wake. Panicked, he warns father that unless they escape immediately, both would die under invasion. Father rasps weakly, asking where running could possibly lead, claiming everywhere in northern lands remain same. He urges son to simply die together with him, surrendering to hope as fate. Son clutches father's chest, sobbing he cannot leave him behind. Flames engulf village walls, shadows stretching ominously. Bodies litter scorched ground after violent invasion. Soldiers step carefully through ruined village. Leader barks order to search again, demanding who missed survivor hiding nearby. Harsh command follows, demanding prisoner be brought. Soldiers shout threats, reminding captives they will become slaves. One soldier crouches, ordering terrified child he must come with them immediately. Moonlight spills across battlefield, showing exhausted survivors lying scattered. A trembling voice whispers bitterly that this is all. He blames everything on them, hatred festering in his chest. He recalls parents' deaths, whispering curse upon those responsible, including himself. His eyes narrow toward a child enduring the same situation. Shock flickers as recognition seizes him suddenly. A wounded man stirs faintly, muttering uncertainly. Shadows stretch over broken ground as night deepens. Confused, another gasps out a single word of what. Someone shouts urgently, demanding why he lies down instead of standing. Fire crackles in background, throwing jagged shadows. Groaning, he lifts head weakly, eyes barely focused. Clouds drift slowly over dim battlefield. Broken weapons litter the ground beneath heavy silence. The survivor blinks wildly, whispering what happened here. Another mutters uncertainly, unable to comprehend carnage. His chest heaves, his breath struggles painfully. Blood pools beneath torn garments. A raven cries harshly overhead. He wonders faintly if what he saw was real. Voice recalls events from just a while ago. A shadowed face flickers in memory. Blood flashes across vivid recollection. Survivor's screams echo within fractured recollection. His breathing grows ragged as thoughts blur. The memory dissolves, leaving only despair behind. The man thanks rescuer but questions who children unable to defend themselves truly are. He scorns enemies, calling barbarians careless for lowering guards so easily. He insists if enemies remain defenseless, one must kill them swiftly. His voice demands survival, urging to live longer for vengeance. He repeats insistence, stressing staying alive matters most for revenge. Another voice reassures Donnie gently, claiming it is fine now. Donnie nods faintly, clinging to his brother's reassurance. Brother insists vengeance is for Donnie's sake as well. He vows never to stop until every barbarian is eradicated. Shadows stretch across lifeless bodies. Survivor gasps, questioning situation and whether this chaos is someone's doing. Another coughs harshly, saying everyone is doomed amid slaves. This blows sharply across open wounds. Steel glints in distant torchlight. Broken shields lie scattered nearby. A furious cry declares Jurchen people should all be cut down. Voices rise in bloodlust, demanding to kill them all. Another exclaims sharply, horrified by escalating carnage. Screams echo through firelit night sky. Blackened clouds smother pale moonlight. Flames roar higher over ruined camp. Shadows ride like demons amid carnage. Figures stumble across smouldering battlefield. Stench of blood thickens heavily. Someone mutters in shockless kid. A face emerges, expression twisted with rage. Ash drifts heavily through ruined encampment. Someone warns angrily that killing is forbidden, recognizing deliberate intent. Voice commands brutally to do it properly if responsibility falls on him. He cries that if forced to keep living miserably, he will destroy Jurchen. Flames consume broken timbers nearby. His scream carries violently into night. It swirls around battlefield, shadows stretching ominously. A soldier steadies his breath, muscles trembling. A guttural noise escapes his throat. He growls to end this fight decisively. His roar echoes loudly, startling everyone nearby. A warrior staggers, gasping Gwiyoung's name desperately. Another collapses, clutching chest, groaning that this is wrong. Someone demands to fight properly, invoking Goshadder's ruthless name. He insists only killing barbarians counts, demanding continuation. He exhales raggedly, whispering to survive, urging one more. The fighter mutters faintly, demanding more combat. Shadows stretch long across trampled ground. Dust settles uneasily over cracked earth. Snare questions if his opponent laughs mockingly now. The crowd erupts loudly, declaring Gwiyoung victorious. Judge calls loudly for the next fighters. He announces Yeongnyu and Dumok must step forward. Dumok exhales sharply, preparing himself firmly. Dust scatters as both step confidently into ring. Shouts demand a contest of pure strength and power. Commanding voice bellows for them to open muscles fully. Sweat glistens upon tensed arms ready for clash. Silence thickens moment before bodies collide furiously. Someone praises strong and beautiful body before battle. Another counters, wisdom matters more than muscle, intellect defines strength. The proclamation of intellect echoes across arena, stressing value of knowledge over physical strength. Faces and crowd watch tensely, murmuring among themselves. An official announces names of those passing third examination privily. Names are called Safrak, Klok, Jingchin, Kolkyunmun, Jangso, Chainron, each stepping forward solemnly. He continues listing Gwiyoung and Dumok among chosen. Amy is called last, drawing collective murmur. The rest are dismissed immediately, only 9 remain standing proudly. Examiner warns them test differs greatly from typical military officer selection. He reveals next trial is King's Sword, selecting informers. A whisper rises in former, shut clear in voices. Confusion spreads as someone asks meaning directly. It is explained informers infiltrate enemy territory, spying unseen. Examiner reveals recruiters focus solely on North region candidates. Concern spreads, contestants question danger of mission and survival. Another responds compensation is generous, lifetime exemption promised. Someone counters survival outweighs money, agreeing truthfully. Official concludes decision lies with them, become informer or withdraw. Official warns harshly lives must be risked for every mission undertaken, leaving no room for hesitation among candidates listening tensely. A determined candidate shouts loudly, declaring he will do it without hesitation, drawing sudden attention to his fearless resolve. Others stare incredulously, questioning if he is delusional to accept such a perilous task so casually. Another voice mocks angrily, accusing them of acting like nobles, demanding they wake up and see reality clearly. A candidate explains bitterly, in Joseon only middle class or nobles live decently, taking this chance is the only path forward. He admits dying is frightening, but living like a dog terrifies him even more deeply. Determined, he declares again loudly, insisting firmly that he will do it despite the risks. Shadows lengthen across the tense gathering, silence weighing heavily. Someone mutters doubtfully, noting nervously that the man just had his first drink earlier. Another asks directly, questioning what about you, turning conversation toward Gwiyoung. Gwiyoung's reputation is mentioned, already famous for his deadly name whispered widely. Faces exchange glances quietly, tension settling into silence among candidates. Both drunkards sway slightly, eyes half-lidded, muttering stubborn words defiantly. Yet thanks to them, everyone else appears to have made up their minds finally. The group murmurs together, agreeing silently. They all feel the same resolve. A faint mark scrawled into dirt near feet. A watermark flashes faintly across the page background. A harsh command orders them to stay put unless they want to die where they stand immediately. Rebels whisper quickly. They draw away Jurchen soldiers but must cross river fast. Another argues pointlessly they should eat before going. The leader reassures, insisting nothing will happen if they eat quietly before leaving, dismissing concerns as needless panic. The burly man laughs loudly, demanding to be served a lavish meal immediately without delay. Someone growls angrily, calling suggestion of eating after reconnaissance ridiculous when soldiers may already be approaching quickly. Another argues furiously, even taverns cannot be trusted here, warning recklessness could get everyone killed. A calmer voice suggests waiting and watching situation, cautioning against rash movement which could backfire disastrously. A cough interrupts, muttering bitterly that outcome is already obvious from beginning. A deep voice introduces himself formally, beginning with my name. Declares boldly his name is Jumok, insisting others stay still despite confusion. Jumok reminds them passionately he loves Jurchen more than anyone else present. Another warns anxiously someone could get hurt or killed because of Jumok's reckless actions taken without restraint. Someone accuses angrily these men are fakes, their disguise is false. Another explains logically barbarians would never eat casually in tavern within northern region, exposing inconsistencies. He concludes firmly this is part of informal test prepared deliberately by higher authorities. Others mutter uneasily, convinced these men are acting completely insane without reason. A shadow looms, heavy atmosphere suffocating surrounding air. One sneers, mocking how easily these opponents dodge, saying real barbarians would have struck lethally. Another demands suppression of impostors immediately, asking who else will act if not them now. A man shouts his name is Jurchen, found to protect Jurchen honourably. Another loudly echoes his name, demanding it be remembered clearly. One argues heatedly, convinced this cannot possibly be a legitimate test. He accuses angrily, insisting these bastards are only stirring trouble to steal test unfairly. A reminder surfaces coldly. Nothing would happen if they simply stayed quiet patiently. A furious man roars, calling Jurchen bastards death's inevitable, hatred dripping from every shouted word. Shadows streak across the dirt battlefield, tension sharp. Feet slam heavily into the trampled ground, rushing. Recognition strikes long time no see, his voice trembling. Shock spreads, someone exclaims loudly, realizing it is Ghost Shadow himself. The body staggers back violently under sudden pressure. Confused voices whisper, they cannot kill, this is only a test, Gwiyoung is different. Another counters angrily, demanding Jurchen be killed immediately without hesitation. One shouts desperately, declaring if it comes to this, everyone must die together. Blades clash violently, sparks scattering beneath moonlight. Voice cries Gwiyoung's name urgently, filled with panic. Someone screams mercilessly, urging everyone to kill them now. A silhouette twists sharply through the rising dust. A glint of steel flashes under dim moonlight. Figures scatter chaotically, stumbling under relentless blows. Someone gasps, eyes wide, realizing that man's identity. They whisper nervously, was he with them moments ago? Is he the same person? A frightened cry escapes, sharp and high-pitched. Darkened shadow moves against pale torchlight. Silence lingers briefly across the battlefield's edge. A faint marking of Arvin scans is visible. Harsh words accuse him, vulgarity ruining everything built. His name spreads, Ghost Shadow echoing bitterly with resentment and recognition. Another voice snarls, repeating vulgarity ruined everything. Ghost Shadow has destroyed their efforts completely. Someone insists loudly, this is a test, survivors were correct about intentions. A curse follows, damn barbarian shouted furiously, frustration overflowing. Dust rises thickly, swallowing chaotic movements completely. The Arvin scan's mark flashes across a page. A broken voice questions desperately, why me, overwhelmed with disbelief. Explanation begins, the Jurchen tribe frequently raids villages here. Their base shifts constantly, trails lost quickly, government offices struggle endlessly to catch them despite continued attempts. Informers chase them for months, cutting tails to find raider scouts, planning capture before full-scale attacks could happen successfully. But accusations rise, nearly massacring scouts ruined months of careful preparation already. Someone argues heatedly, is killing barbarians wrong when threatening Jurchen people directly before him. Darkness spreads over empty sky as tension lingers. A cold voice commands not to be mistaken, dismissing illusions. They mock harshly, saying madness is worthless, a stunt good only once. They belittle Ghost Shadow title, mocking everyone praises him wrongly. Another snarls bitterly, questioning hostility directed at him from the beginning. Commanding voice shouts not to fight but to catch that escaping man immediately. Figures blur in swift pursuit under shadowy moonlight. A sharp tongue click of frustration cuts the air. Two bodies slump still on hardened ground, lifeless. Heavy boots advance closer through the tense darkness. The night grows thicker, cloaking rushing forms unseen. Panic surges, a cry for everyone to run explodes. An enraged voice mocks, unable to catch even one. Another curses furiously, fist trembling with bitter anger. The field lies eerily silent, tension suffocating harshly. A moonbeam slants down across distant mountain ridge. Foreshadowed forms march steadily, cloaks swaying faintly. A harsh rebuke, so you two let them go. Still two words follow, apology offered to Gwiyoung sincerely. Another demands sharply, was it because you went crazy? The Arvanskand's watermark lies faint against the background. A calmer voice admits recklessness, asking what else should have been done. Another retorts angrily, Jurchen people were threatened, so who dares to question his judgment now? Finally, a voice softens, simply saying well done. Despite failure, they insist it was not entirely his fault. Blame lies with negligent officials, yet praise belongs to Gwiyoung for protecting Jurchen people despite opposition. They concede his actions were right as a Jurchen person, yet sharply correct, wrong as an informer's role. Reminder follows, an informer observes, not the killer seeking vengeance. The question strikes, can you suppress hatred for the Jurchen tribe while working as informer? Another scoffs, impossible, he goes crazy whenever seeing Jurchen. They echoed a query, which side can kill more? They clarify, government soldier kills directly, informer creates wider opportunities. Voice presses further, which choice kills more barbarians ultimately? Outrage rises, what arrogant nonsense is this if forced to choose? Answer given, informers overwhelmingly kill more by creating larger opportunities. Supervisor Jiang affirms sternly, confirming yes without hesitation. Declaration follows strongly, that's the informer's definition. The Arvanskand's watermark faintly marks the frame. Gwiyoung declares firmly he will do it if it means killing more barbarians. Determination sharpens, he will do whatever it takes now. Figures stand tense, silence gripping the gathering strongly. Another shouts angrily, don't talk nonsense, who do you think you are? Orders follow. 9 applicants divided into groups with senior informers, tasked to catch fleeing barbarians in 3 different directions. But clear instructions: do not kill them, they are scouts for gathering critical tiny information. Announcement declares this begins the 4th and final mission, first real informer test now. The Arvanskand's mark repeats across darkened background. Frustration bursts, damn it, why the hell now? Complaint follows, why make such an awkward group formation? They mutter irritably, awkward arrangement unbearable as darkness deepens across the northern frontier. Final curse spat, damn it, just get me out. A calm acknowledgement escapes his lips, quietly beginning with a simple, well, this tense situation stretches forward uneasily under minute silence. I respect what query asks what to call him, with sharp reply insisting firmly, call me leader without hesitation. The leader allows a question, curious subordinate presses cautiously for clarity about this tone. Another boldly asks why he is so rude toward Gwiyoung, curiosity clashing with rebuke for asking such an impertinent question. Accusation rings sharply, you were the one who attacked him violently during the 3rd test, how ridiculous to suddenly defend him now. Voice shifts defensively, insisting misunderstanding before claiming he thought wrong. Confusion builds, he insists he thought Gwiyoung was someone else, yet admits finally he was still the same Gwiyoung. A small sound escapes, half incredulous muttering under breath. The leader sidesteps question, laughing nervously, then reminds they must soon catch barbarians. He warns if you repeat Tavan behavior recklessly again, consequences will follow harshly. He threatens directly, if it happens again, I will really kill you. A strange murmur hangs suspended. Urgent command barks, get down immediately. Arvanskand's watermark lingers faint across darkened background. Dense forest shadows stretch endlessly, ominous atmosphere tightening grip. Whispered suspicion others barbarians, they differ from before, meaning base could be nearby. Stern instruction, be careful, follow quietly without mistakes. 3 trunks crowd tightly together in looming darkness. Someone calls Gwiyoung's name hesitantly. A cryptic sound echoes from darkness. A clear murmur surfaces sharply under dim light. A shadowy figure stands still in gloom. Eyes gleam faintly, piercing through murk. Arvanskand's watermark overlays across scene. Wind whistles ominously through forest canopy. The blurred whisper drifts with growing tension. Figures move stealthily beneath tall trees. Long shadows bend across dirt path. Order cut sharply, don't leave any chance. A forceful shout commands, shoot the fire arrows now. Flaming streaks arc through night sky. Smoke thickens, glowing embers scatter above. Panic ripples across darkened hillside suddenly. Arvanskand's watermark faintly marks transition frame. Flames cast a glow across torn battlefield. Black silhouettes stumble amidst heavy smoke. A chilling declaration pierces, 5 years have passed, do you remember me now? A shadowed figure dusts cloak firmly, preparing forward. Warning, watch your stats, behave like that and beggars will notice location. Frustration, damn, points lost for such trivial mistake. Coded signal snapped sharply between scouts. Urgent command everyone take cover behind the trees immediately. Branches sway above in dark and forest silence. A lone figure emerges through the forest shadows, footsteps deliberate and tense as unseen threats stir restlessly round the perimeter. It seems to be one of the men who fled earlier, his movements cautious yet betraying urgency. The man cut sharply could, from now on, follow my instructions exactly without hesitation. Question rises anxiously one of you, where is he now? A nearby bush rustles violently in unsettling silence. Determined though, clenches can't miss this chance, must act quickly and secure stronger position. Sharp breath steadies as confrontation nears violently. Boy shouts confidently, I got him, pinning target swiftly. Heavy body crashes into the muddy ground. Realization strikes it was trapped, suddenly ambushed from shadows. Branches crack violently under pressure of quick strikes. Frustrated cry damn, falling for this is humiliating. Marvin scans watermark overlays dim background. Dark figure snarls, it's been 5 years, do you remember me? Fierce eyes burn with remembered hatred under firelight. Blades glimmer under faint moonlight's heavy glow. A harsh metallic clash splits the night there violently. Torn echoes, wow, you dodged that, you're pretty good aren't you? Warning flares ambush over there, no choice but to push outward. This swirls around rapidly colliding bodies under moon. A tree trunk splinters as blade misses its mark. Statement grim, it seems like we fell directly into trap. Leaves scatter heavily under violent exchange of blows. Sword slices through air leaving chilling afterimage. Another strike follows quickly, sparking across stone. Commanding voice, I asked if you remember me, who are you to ignore? Retort blast, you don't remember, years ago you burned in Mask village, my family, do you deny? Rage erupts, don't play dumb, not after such horrors. The soldier steadies trembling grip on weapon handle. Moonlight streaks sharply across scarred battlefield floor. Shadows converge dangerously within surrounding foliage. Whirling crylets break through, follow me now. Name roars, Gwiyoung shouted desperately. Threat declared, I don't know how strong you are, but drag comrades down further and you'll doom everyone. How dare you, voice spits, doing as you please. Guttural battle cry bursts suddenly. These guys surge forward relentlessly with intent. Blades connect with piercing force midair. Sparks scatter wildly across ground beneath strikes. Order rings, let's go, charge immediately. Heavy boots pound rhythmically across wet ground. Alarm damn, more enemies in front, surrounded already. Realization they must have chased us with full force. Accusation goes shadow, this blood is for comrades you took, I'll repay by killing those beside you. Final threat, you're truly dead this time. Moon veils under gathering storm clouds. Whispered recognition stone, it lies nearby. Panic, what, where is he exactly? Response there, over there beyond tree line. Correction, no, opposite side, turn around quickly. Command explodes, how can this be? Kill them all immediately. Second team surges into action with urgency. Urgent call, Gwiyoung over here quickly. Fourth leader Kim Jing, path is opening, this way. Gwiyoung urged forward, hurry without pause. Shouted angrily, let's go you bastard, move now. Directive only option is survival for now, regroup later. Command echoes, chase them, don't let them escape, damn it. 4 corpses lie sprawled on damp ground, shadows looming as their comrades realize grim consequences of failed skirmish. Urgent voice demands leader Kim Jing, what happened, how did you know danger approach, were you following our team secretly since beginning? Answer clarifies, barbarians moving in groups, one teammate sent request for support, thus we followed your squad closely. Statement sharp, your third team to risk including you shouldn't support, instead be given to leader Jinwing's first team immediately. Rebuke follows, this guy knows nothing, do you even realize his infamous nickname? A torch flickers in heavy wind, illuminating wary expressions. Dark silence passes between tense fighters. Whisper spreads, Yacher. Explanation, he's called Yacher. No need worry, Jinwing leader of first and former team, he's monster. Torches wait uneasily in chilled night. A crow's cry pierces unsettling darkness. Moon peers faintly through drifting clouds. Boots crunch on frozen dirt as squad regroups. Shadows stalk battlefield edges quietly. Still glints faintly under moon's cold light. Question pierces, are you satisfied? You met enemy, poured emotions without hesitation, did it feel good? Reminder, cold the cost was comrades' lives. I truly guess you wasted all your energy. Clarification, his name Lee Hatchu, appeared in Jurchen only a year, wasn't present years ago when your village burned. Nile trembles, that can be, same guy, maybe Lee Menju. Revelation, enemy is Lee Hatchu's cousin, Jurchen tribe leader Lee Menju. Warning, Hatchu and Manju look similar enough to confuse easily, maybe Hatchu even imitated Manju. Shuck stutters, that's leader Kim Jin. Worry arises, shouldn't we go support leader Jinwing now? Dismissal, geez, told you already, Jinwing's monster, escaped already. Praise, he holds overwhelming skills, countless combat experiences, recognized by generals. Conclusion, trust him, if no one else, he's Yacher. Statement final, he won't die in place like this. Trees sway violently in night wind. Shadows creep alongside bloody trail. Doubt trembles, Jinwing, is it really Jinwing? Urgent, tell me everything in detail, how did this happen? First scatter overhead as silence deepened. Port ambushed during infiltration due to negligence, yet Jinwoon leader single-handedly slaughtered around dozen barbarians. Protest, but why return like this? What truly happened? Then another barbarian appeared suddenly. Testimony, Jinwoon squad leader fought unbelievably like Yaksha itself. Ominous note before Yaksha. Clouds smolder faint stars above battlefield. Stolen weapon reflects pale moonlight. Footsteps echo faintly from distance. A tattered cloak flutters under a cold wind. Scream monster, he was monster. Cough racks exhausted survivor. Demand to tell me, who exactly was he? Reply weak, I don't know who he was. Description, huge frame, hair braided tightly in 3 strands. Blood trails dark along broken ground. Statement, he took final breath here. Closing, see, that's how it happened. General affirms, surely so. Command thunders Lee Manju, bring me his head. Declaration, I'm changing the plan immediately. Reports confirm your Jin tribe already descended in numbers, main base nearby, engaged boldly, surely feeling threatened. Order given, mobilize entire army before dawn, hunt them before crossing river. Ruthless, no need to capture alive, kill all on sight. Torches burn as shadows lengthen ominously. Commands, bring me Lee Manju's head, warned of ambush, urged caution yet pressed urgency. Jinwoon's so spoken as departed. It's on way to underworld, escorted with fallen barbarians. Flames rise through night as drums echo. Reminder, mission crucial, base must be found within hour. Commander Gwiyoung excluded from mission, expected no complaint. Orders rest reorganized, 7 excluding Gwiyoung, sudden pause interrupts. Assignment to inform attached with secret duty. Gwiyoung curses in frustration, fists trembling. Accusation have failed, catch 1 man, vanguard wiped out. Purtus, he fought like monster, Yaksha impossible together. Outbursts, bastards, more numbers, tension spikes. Recognition, Lee Manju, vulgar yet composed leader emerges. Shock Hyan, how appear here suddenly? Calm, he came curious about brother's condition. Reproach trying escape shadow, but failing, misfortune heavy. Followers report bizarre slaughter, plans broken. Testimony, monster among Jurchen, Yaksha slaughtered all alone. Leader hums thoughtfully. Torches crackle amidst anxious whispers. Moon veiled by drifting smoke. Command to hang Yaksha's body visibly, demoralized troops. Warning, special Jurchen soldier endangers safety. Debate to cross river before dawn, objections rise, conquest goals delayed. Advice, wait until winter, don't waste lives, restrain reckless killing. Lee given 1 day, conquest Yorin later, follow leader. Inquiry, what is your name? Reply, Ahab. Judgment, unlucky. Soldiers tend to silence thickens. Horses snort restless under dark sky. Threat came too far, heard forbidden secrets. Suspicion, Jurchen also has informer, keep conquest hidden. Command to kill anyone who may leak information. Confusion, startled exclamation breaks. Question, what is this noise now? Drums beat urgently in distance. Clouds obscure, moon as fires blaze. Alarm, enemy already upon them. Order to take useful ones, cross river immediately. Arrow whistles into night sky. Sword clashes against hardened shield. Flames engulf nearby tents rapidly. Soldiers scatter in chaotic retreat. Torches flicker across frightened faces. Horses stomp anxiously near river. Name called Choi Yoon Deok. Urgency, get on horses, cross river now. Protester reps, vow to stay behind. Ash told to shut up, ordered mount horse regardless. Smoke drifts above battlefield as figures scatter. Command shouts move quickly, urgency crackles across ground. Steel clashes echo with frantic resistance cries. 2 bodies collapse while dust rises violently. Apology, sorry, tried to do well, reassurance offered, Lorna's alive, opportunities remain, urged not to worry. Heavy silence hangs, but tension lingers. Glint of steel under fading torchlight. Instruction, there's something crucial you must do. Orders, attack their base, find it. Risk missing, Lee Manju acknowledged, urgency heavy. Directive, informer split into 4 pairs, surround base carefully. Condition, if Lee Manju missed. Nearest group pursues first, test ended, now acting as informer as teams divided, pairs named. Exclamation, astonished, he caught it perfectly. Shock, coded a rock, disbelief sharp. Assessment, seen people dodge once, this different, boss praised, team identified. Todd funny, trivial skill displayed mockingly. Challenge, demand if want to see another. Fist clenches with controlled ferocity. Declaration, this time, determination absolute. Rage, it really is the mark, curse spat furiously. Revelation, this time, unmistakably him. Shadow stretches across battered ground ominously. Threat coming back willingly, seeking death, cold bastard. Shadows blurs, confrontation tightens dramatically. Thou I'll cut off your head too. Low lands with guttural sound, K-fuck. Possessive snarled, you are mine. Cry pierces amid steel clashing chaos. Steel arcs viciously through night air. Impact reverberates through armoured body hard. Blood spatters violently across dirt ground. Heavy breathing fills oppressive silence afterward. Torches flare against blackened night sky. Dust clouds swirl around broken corpses. Horse whinnies, hooves pounding uneven earth. Glimmer of drawn steel catches moonlight. Fingers tremble, gripping hilt tightly. Stuttered realization that disbelief overwhelms him. Rock shatters into pieces with single strike, impossible power displayed. Sparks illuminate horrified faces suddenly. Pawns coming to seek death on your own feet. Heavy silence as onlookers recoil horrified. Wounded fighter collapses, lifeless under darkened moon. He laughs darkly, voice echoing through the battlefield, mocking everything. Maniacal laughter continues. This is fun, shouted with twisted joy. Confrontation sharpens, he demands, do you remember me, with burning intensity. He recounts bitterly the village you burned 5 years ago, my parents, my sister, accusing voice trembling with raw hatred. He screams, any of them, do you remember them, desperate fury breaking through. Response dismissive, this bastard is talking nonsense again, who would remember such things, mocking contempt. He sneers, do you think I'd remember someone or something like that, dismissing it carelessly. Revelation 5 years ago in winter, Mocheng, the boy struck by fire arrow while crossing the river, identified bitterly. He admits sometimes thought you might have survived without finishing you off, but you really came back. Demands was the kid with you, your sister, with all of them together, haunted memory resurfaces sharply. Rage twists his mouth, eyes narrowing, fists clenched tightly. Shadows stretch as the confrontation tightens further, both refusing to yield ground. Wind roars past, weapons trembling under pressure, imminent violence looming. Blood sprays across dirt, steel crashing against flesh. Clash intensifies, echoing across the cold ground. Words strike everything, you remember everything cruelly, bitter confirmation drawn out. He replies with certainty, of course, I remember everything, an apologetic defiance lacing each word. Cold condemnation, pity for poor souls who died simply for being born, as Jurchen spat cruelly. His stance lowers, body ready for another assault. Fingers tighten firmly around weapon, grip unshakable. Night air chills, breath steaming against heavy silence. Moon rises above, casting ominous pale light downward. Statement impressive, in freezing cold you survived falling into river and came this far, grudging acknowledgement. Shadows flicker as torchlight reveals distorted features. Snarl defines his stop it, you barbarian bastard, shouted with unrelenting rage. First strikes descend relentlessly, steel sparking in darkness. Bodies reel backward from powerful blows landing heavily. Sparks fly violently as weapons collide again. Guttural groan, a hug, pain forced out through clenched teeth. Blood spatters across ground, forming dark stains beneath. Harsh forced to come this far with that small spark of life saved in your youth. I salute you, but threat lingers. He declares, I wouldn't let you go this time, absolute finality resonating. Dust swirls under their shifting violent footwork. Promise won't leave any spark of life, I'll put them all out, cruel threat snarled. Desperate cried, damn it, he really is a monster, voice breaking. Warning Hunim, be careful, shouted frantically amidst chaos. Cry of desperation Gwiyoung, name carried through the battlefield. Vigor stumbles, collapsing beneath relentless pressure. Shadows deepen as night engulfs the blood-stained field. He taunts, you're really lucky, the mocking tone sharpened. Urgent command to get back on the horse, Lee Hatchet shouted with authority. Bewilderment, is he crazy? Why is he coming this way? Confusion spreads quickly. Fists clash violently in the dark, blades sparking with brutal force as bodies stagger under the crushing weight of relentless attacks. Steel cuts through the night, leaving blood spraying across dirt as combatants push their strength to breaking limits without yielding ground. Shock spreads what, the words trembling as realization dawns amidst chaos and unrelenting strikes between desperate fighters. A guttural cry escapes a K-fuck, agony bursting forth, body straining against violent pressure as strength wavers. Defiant words, you bastard, you can save him if you take him right away, snarled amidst a deadly exchange. Sword arcs downward, cutting into soil and flesh as sparks scatter with devastating intensity. Urgency rises to let's go quickly, Hunim, only a few of them, why not kill them all, shouted with impatience. Caution warns being caught twice means the Jurchen army will be coming soon, let's go, they are really lucky bastards, growled bitterly. Breathless, or thought they were just strong, but they fly around like crazy, like a tiger running wild, what kind of bastard is that? Concerned call, oh, Gwiyoung, are you okay? Eyes scanning injuries anxiously amidst turmoil. His chest heaves as blood drips, body collapsing under strain, fatigue overwhelming. Chattered warning, hey, don't lose consciousness, keep your eyes open, desperate to prevent collapse. Body lies still, moonlight casting pale glow across trembling frame, blood pooling beneath. Whispered reckoning, 5 years, it's been 5 years, heavy words echoing past resentment. Reflection, I've been looking forward to meeting him, living with the sound of ghosts in my ears, mind consumed by memories. Bitter pause, but a hesitation lingers with regret woven in silence. To men sharper, what is the ghost shadow, spoken with challenge. Admission, it's shameful, the emotion I felt when I met him, honesty heavy with weight. Fear acknowledged to fear was mixed in it, bitter truth rising amidst strength. Reproach, what are you doing lying down, barked with authority. Rebuke, everyone's in a mess, did you get ruined by one guy, was that barbarian bastard really that powerful, it pressed harshly. Scornful no. Are you whining like a baby? You're supposed to be the ghost shadow. This is disappointing, said with disdain. Commanded General Lee someone, you bring one horse from over there, ordered firmly. Introduction, this is General Lee someone, let's go, Gwiyoung. Authority carried in voice. Thought mutter, I'll scold him, no, I'll kill him, Val uttered coldly. Slowed request to just bring me one bottle of liquor, demanded with drunken insistence. Complained they really don't listen to me, muttered while ignored. Praise you're really something too, voice tinged with admiration. Chiding even though you're in this state because of alcohol, you still want more alcohol, said with weary exasperation. Flee, General, isn't this enough? I'll stop drinking. My fox-like wife and rabbit-like children are waiting. You're probably going to the brothel, begged earnestly. Lanterns flicker and window shadows deepen against wooden walls. Invitation come out, voice low, followed by mocking, oh, really? Challenging disbelief. Revelation, I found the Jurchen tribe and Li Manju. The informer and soldiers will go out to execute them, announced decisively. Directive, come out and do your job. That's the only way you can atone as a bastard and dedicate yourself, stated grimly. Repeat introduction, this is General Lee someone, let's go, Gwiyoung, tone commanding, brooking no refusal. He mutters grimly, I'll scold no, I'll kill him for you, voice trembling between duty and violent resolution. Shocked voices rise, is that General Lee someone? How did you get here, General? Disbelief flashing amidst chaos. Command echoes, you came just in time, your name is, anyway hurry up, clean up, and come with me, Gwiyoung. Confusion swells, what is this, why is our Gwiyoung? Fear rippling through 10 stairs. Order strikes a chain Gwiyoung, Dumuk. Go back to get the rear, Yujian, you've come with us, rolls assigned with urgency. Taunt bites, hey, ghost shadow, voice dripping challenge. Temptation, do you want to come with us, or just pretend nothing happened, go back to hometown, live quietly from now on. Persuasion sharp, personally I'd recommend the latter. Do you think you can live with your conscience, words driving guilt. A strained breath escapes, body wavering under decision. Shocked exclamation, hope-breaking silence. Figures blur into motion under looming threat, blades flashing dimly. Assurance you're here. The boat to cross the river is ready. Yes, the Jurchen troops will be chasing us soon. Urgency commands. Strategic direction, there's a fork ahead. We'll split, ambush, distract, buy time, then follow. You two go ahead, outlined with precision. Answer short, okay, agreement given. Intense stare, you're curious, aren't you? Whether that spark can reach me again, challenge whispered in darkness. Announcement to General Lee someone, there is a fork in the road, Scout's report confirms. Suggestion to General, better split the group in two, good, shouted with urgency. Decision, you four go left, I'll go right, command divides forces. Protest to sir, General, why, do you want to go with me? Don't the luxury of fighting and protecting you guys have, spoken quickly. Defiant farewell anyway, both sides of the fork lead to the river, see you again, said with confidence. Horse hooves strike earth, dust rising in echoes. Dark farewell, let's see what fortune holds for me, words heavy. Laid arcs unseen, tension climbing higher into silence. Horses charge, riders pushing through shadows under dim stars. Observation in the moonlight, it's dark, muttered with narrowed gaze. Trees sway as wind cuts across forest edge. Tense glances pass as steel readies. Arrogant sneer, what, is it just one guy who came? They're really underestimating us, mocking tone fills silence. Doubt rises, but did we get him? Voice tinged uncertainty. Warning, I can't see well because it's dark, don't relax and keep aiming, caution pressed. Disbelief, it's just one guy, what's the tension, is it a hit or a miss, muttered aloud. Arrow whistles past, slicing air close to target. Demander, hey, where's Li Manju? Suspicion rising. Shock a went to heat, alarm spreads. Urgent cry over there, shoot, panic breaks. Arrow pierces ground, missing figure hidden in shadows. Wind rustles, treetops as danger looms unseen. Full voice, well, I'll see for myself, decision final. Stammering, where is he? Don't panic, words falter. Order steady, calm down, authority cuts. Streams erupt, pain tearing night apart. Shouts pierce, damn it, what are you doing? Catch him and kill him, which way is he? Find him, orders bark furiously. Whispered dread, choosing the darkness was your downfall, enemy's voice cold and sharp. Hooves crashed through trees, arrows still echoing in the air. Breathless thought it was a matter of seconds, realization of danger tightening. Horses surged forward under moonlight, shadows racing alongside. Sudden flash, the moment the arrows flew in, memory sharp. Panicky figured out our positions, alarm spreads. Smader how, looks like a miss, someone mutters. Recognition strikes again, it must be Gwiyoung's side, urgency rising. Determination, I wonder if I can catch him, thought hardened. Voice cries leader Kinjang, command resonates. Realization is Li Manju and Li Hachi, eyes widen. Command roars, we can't let them go, catch them at all costs, urgency thick. Thou have to pay them back, for Donnie's sake, words sting. Mocklet, humiliation, you're a little late kids, insult strikes. Shuddered order shoot, arrows released. Horses gallop as arrows streak through cold night. Tigers weave through trees with reckless speed. Cry don't let them go, catch them, persistence continues. Commander goer, hold them until General Lee someone arrives. Final instruction. Breath Regadal, catch them somehow. Hey Gwiyoung, desperation audible. Realism impossible for us to catch them. Leader Kinjangir goal, hold until General arrives. Explain clearly. Defiance and no, I'll do it somehow. Listen to me. Voice cracks. Sterner suppress reckless nature for once. Cooperate, then we can catch them. Advice urgent. Please think about the outcome. Warning heavy. Excitement, we can reach them now. Get ready. Hearts pound. Hooves thunder. Aircut shout. Tension climbing. Growl, you're persistent, but the voice edges. Taunt, what can you do about it? Question echoes. Sword glints under dim light. Tension unrelenting. Espe Gwiyoung, cry rings desperate. Sword flashes. Clash sparks in night air. But yet, whispered fiercely, resolve unbroken. Cold prophecy, the person who will kill you is coming right now. Until then wait. Voice dark. Water bursts upward as bodies crash through the dark surface. Violence flashes echoing under the moonlight, pulling everything into chaos. Waves churn violently, foam scattering beneath the starry night. A figure sinks, bubbles swirling desperately around his mouth. Gasping for to Vo, sand slips away into water. Muffled cry Vo, voice lost beneath crashing current. Airless moment stretches long, time slows mercilessly. Rage bursts of these bastards, fury shakes underwater. Despair shit can't swim, fac, voice trembles. Finch vow told you, wait, won't let you go, determination ignites. A hand stretches toward blurred shadows. Choked to damn, what kind of answer, a voice falters. Twisted cry is every fun to kill bastards, the echo chills. Frantic call Gwiyoung, where are you, voice cracks. Bubbles spiral upward through moonlit water. The shadow drifts silently toward the depths. Distant current swallows faint echoes quickly. Waves above hide sinking bodies below. A blurred ripple spreads outward in darkness. Name breaks a dawn, memory erupts. Scream to Donnie, sorrow burns. Louder Donnie, cry tears through. Desperate to hell, what is the kid doing right now, anguish sharp. Flee, what are you doing, panic grows. Order to panic, breathe, reminder urgent. A faint glimmer flickers through murk. Gasp bursts of Puhak, air returns violently. Spray scatters as arms thrash upward. Struggle continues against crushing current's weight. Desperate strokes cut through foamy waves. Voice calls Lee Manju, sound desperate. Swirling current twists beneath broken surface. A hand grasps but slips away. Glare, a confusion strikes. A body tumbles, caught by current. Heavy water drags figure downward fast. Whisper like this, voice trails. Thought echoes how powerful, realization heavy. Key heard Gwiyoung gasp tears out. Shaken are you broke right, concern grows. Shout to do, Donnie, no, not this time, refusal fierce. Crying no, anguish sharp. Demanding what is that kid doing right now, fury bursts. Voice leader, urgency bleeds. Streamed your leader, are you alright? Lee Hatcher is over there, warning urgent. Urgent commander, get on board, get out, shouted as water churned violently around desperate survivors. Commander Lee Hatcher, gasps erupt, followed by choking breath. Puhak, damn it, frustration heavy in voice. Shit, mutter angrily, to see them escape like this, despair should cross battle-weary face. Are you okay? Concerned voiced, answered firmly, I'm fine, let's go, determination steady under night. Shouldn't we finish them off? Voice urged, the Jurchen army will be here soon, hurry, urgency driving decision. Hunim, will only take a moment, let's wipe them all out, insistence pressed dangerously. A shadow loomed silently, no word spoken, presence ominous. Startled crier, how, who are you? Fear sudden. Water reflected moonlight, silence broken by footsteps closing quickly. Furious yell you bastard, where did you come from? Rage violent. Shock Lee Menju, what? Disbelief echoed. Recognition struck General Lee Sanwon, he's not the one, how? Lee Sanwon, confusion sharp. Voice Lee Menju is over there, Lee Hatchu has, urgency unfinished. Been captured, what should we? Should we turn the ship around? Panic spread. Rippling water reflected scattered moonlight. Anguish if not, who are ag, you damn bastard, fury screamed. Revelation, he's Lee Menju's cousin, Lee Hatchu, nearly taken as hostage, whispered tense. You bastard, came angry shout, I'm the commander of the Jurchen, Lee Menju's cousin Lee Hatchu, declaration fierce. Do you know who you're swinging your sword at? Think before, it's Jurchen, scolding deep. Warning general, watch out, voice cried desperately. Sword raced, steel glimmered under moonlight. Blade cut through darkness, struck mist. Enemy pressed closer, fierce eyes burning. Hi Hunim, the voice trembled. Horse splashed rhythmically across river water. Battle cries echoed through cold air. Moon hung silently over battlefield. Smirk how, look at this interesting guy, how, observation cold. General, are you alright? What the hell is this? Of course, fine, he's aiming me. Reassurance uneasy. He decided it was impossible to achieve with his own hands, maybe wanted to avoid extra slaves, a clever guy, deduction bitter. He has overwhelming power and strategy, realization grim. If possible, it would have been better if now, thought heavy. But just as heard, he's a dangerous guy, a voice hardened. How? But where is Gwiyoung? Sudden worry. Question, is he dead? Voice flat. Mist drifted over dark river surface. Armors glinted faintly under starlight. Soldiers tightened grips on spears. Gasped Puhak, air-filled lungs desperately. Gwiyoung, what the hell are you doing? Have to save her, have to, Donnie shouted with urgency. What did you say? Donnie isn't there, have to save her somehow, disbelief sharp. Time possible to save no matter what, snap out of it, shouted fiercely. Come, open your eyes, years ago, you know that by now, demand cold. Eyes widened in horror as realization struck, you saw that illusion, it's not real, a harsh whisper cut through trembling silence. Your sister is dead, you know that by now, Donnie you saw was illusion, right, the cruel reminder echoed mercilessly. Breath ragged, guttural grunts escaped, ugh, body weakened by overwhelming despair. Violent coughing erupted, a cough, choking sound tore through chest. Pale hand shook, gripping ground desperately. Cough, echoes lingered in suffocating night air. After realizing Donnie was illusion, when he came to his senses, truth struck brutally. The emotion that came to Gwiyoung was fear, overwhelming, unrelenting, absolute. If he goes into the water, he would see his dead sister Donnie, whispered torment, unavoidable dread. He kept remembering his sister's death, that he tried so hard to avoid, memory burning painfully. Black water reflected pale moonlight silently. Shadows shifted, silence thickened. A muttered sound chim broke quiet. The informer who is afraid of water, cruel truth pronounced. Informer selection test, this is screwed up, right, the end, to be continued, finality struck with bitterness. Catch him, don't let him go, voice roared furiously. 3 footsteps closed in quickly. Hook, damn it, breath tore out raggedly. I'm dead, this time I'm really going to die, despair tightened grip. Branches rustled in cold night breeze. Where did he go? Search everywhere, order rang sharp. It must have been one of those Jurchen bastards, don't lose him, find him, urgency pressed. You idiot, I told you to follow him well, he's over here, shout guided. Shadows pressed closer under moonlight. Wow, I thought was really going to die this time, are you okay Dumark? Voice cracked with relief. Hope no one is seriously injured, surprisingly I'm fine, reassurance uneven. Dammy, aren't you going to answer? Question demanded. Dammy, can you stop being so angry right now? It's not Yu Jion's fault Gwiyoung ended up like that, scolding heavy. I don't care how you feel, just don't interfere with the mission. Voice cut decisively. He was called the Ghost Shadow, he was an amazing guy. Isn't it a waste of talent to end up like that? Regretful murmur. An informer who was afraid of water, judgment cruelly repeated. Is this hopeless? Despair nod heavily. Report the situation, where is Lee Manju? We lost him as you can see, Lee Manju himself. Admission bitter. Gwiyoung, if you had done your part properly, rebuke sharp. Cold silence pressed heavier. Forest edge loomed with eerie stillness. Branches whispered unsettling rhythm carried. Puho, breath gasped desperately. Yuhak, choking cough rattled through body. Go back, the harsh command echoed, leaving no room for hesitation as cold night wind pressed against weary resolve. You don't need an informer who can't even cross the river, you're just wasting your precious life, words stung deeply. Go back and forget what happened here, live your life, denial crushing over. I can't do it, desperate refusal shouted. I'll do anything, just give me a chance, anything, plea burst forth, trembling with desperation. Even if you agree to do anything, doubt lingered heavy. Cleaning up the horse dung, contemptuous task assigned. Gwiyoung name calls sharply, urgency sharpened tone. This is ridiculous. How can you waste someone with such skills, just to clean horse dung and lock him in the stable? Outrage flared. This is a national loss, isn't it? I appreciate your words, but to dismissal followed quickly. If you're going to sympathize with me, at least look me in the face, I want to, but I might lose informer qualification, confession heavy. Are you still not over it? Do you still see your sister in the water? Question pierced mercilessly. Why don't you just give up? I don't understand why you're trying so hard, disbelief thickened. I'm a lowborn, so I'm risking my life for this, hoping for better fate. Gwiyoung, you're not a commoner, right? Earnest words. Frustrated sight echoed, tension unbroken. I told you not to talk to that guy. Sudden interruption cut conversation apart, scattering. Isn't this too much? Not even a conversation. Aren't we still comrades? Protests burst. Comrades. Admiration. Who's Gwiyoung? An informer. That's a shock stumbled. The information informers handle is top secret. It's full of things ordinary people shouldn't know. Reminder sharp. Where's the guarantee information won't leak out if you chat among yourselves? Accusation pressed. Just because you spent few days together, you're showing such cheap sympathy. Sneer delivered. Ah, you were so rude, so mutter broke. This kid, oh leader calm down, urgency pleaded. November 1432, Pinecam Province, Gwiyoung County, Tuscany Way. That kid Yujon is too hot-headed, remark carried weight. What about your hot-headedness that sent death threat out of nowhere? He's still your superior. Well, how can I stay still when he talks like that? Laughter cut tension. Eh, why are you getting involved for no reason? Yoon didn't say anything wrong. I felt it long time. He's especially harsh to Gwiyoung, voice steady. Haha, but in the end you let us go out together. That's true, but having to get permission to hang out, that's annoying, complained Rang. Gwiyoung, if you become an informer, everything will be solved. You can do right. Will hesitation followed. Anyway, I'm in a bad mood. Let's go for a drink. After one sip, what drinking are you talking about? How it banter sharp. Yet lost. Ugh, you're so unlucky. Insult hurled. What's going on? Suspicion snapped. Shadows tightened in crowded space. How can this injustice happen? I have to help. Did you forget, boss? We can't get involved in village matters. Conflict rose. But yeah, if we get mixed up this, we might really lose our special qualification. Warning pressed. Tense silence carried through. What the hell are you doing? Furious question cracked. Hey, you look like an immigrant. Mind your own business and get insult spat sharply. If you don't want to die, don't butt in for no reason and get yourself killed. If you know what kind she is, you won't think about stopping it. Threat rang. That's why. Shut up. Command silenced. I don't want to know. Refusal whispered. Dark clouds gathered. Atmosphere heavy. Hey bastard. Didn't you hear what Gwiyoung said? We can't get involved in village matters. What are you talking about? Reminder harsh. That's your informer talk. Sneer struck. Oh, a voice faltered. Where did you come from, you bastard? Question slammed. The clash erupted violently. Blades and fists meeting with force that shook the dusty ground, tension rising as combatants locked into merciless struggle. A sharp cry tore through the air, pain and defiance mixing as the battle shifted, heavy breaths echoing against stone walls. This settled briefly, shadows moving quickly, faces hardened with resolve as blows continued to fall without pause, each fighter unwilling to yield ground. The clash of steel rang out louder, a fleeting glimpse of desperation flickering in hardened eyes beneath the oppressive night sky. The ground darkened with sweat and dust, figures staggered, regrouping, and prepared to strike once again with unyielding determination etched into their movements. Muscles strained and eyes narrowed, enemies continued their vicious dance, exhaustion creeping into limbs but resolve unbroken. Changpon, you just at word cut off, urgency gripped the scene, a voice faltered amid rising tension. Silence pressed heavier, lingering above wounded pride and unspoken fear. Whether this woman is low-born or has some situation, you adults are ganging up against a young woman, accusation lashed. Get up, let's go, command followed swiftly, determination clear in unyielding tone. Maybe, if Donnie was a thought drifted, sorrow heavy. Still alive, mutter carried weight, disbelief flickering in trembling breath. Eyes turned sharply, shadows lengthen. That guy Gwiyoung, he was more daring than thought, as expected. The brave ones get the beauties. What are you all doing? Voice mocked. How can you just let that bitch go? Furious voice cracked sharp. I really wanted it to end quickly. You're too much. Why are you doing this? Frustration boiled hot. If you have a grudge, settle it quietly. Not like this in a group. He's a barbarian. Reason caught sharp. That girl is not a Jurchen. She's migrated Jurchen. A Jurchen who naturalized into Jurchen. Truth spoken. Naturalized Jurchen, also known as naturalized Shane, which means Jurchens who naturalized to Jurchen. Explanation laid bare. Not only Jurchens, but there were also lots of other naturalized people in Jurchen, such as Japanese, Thailand, etc. That was the inclusive policy. Reminder sounded. Jurchen devised many measures to stabilize the northern region. One of them was encouraging naturalization of Jurchens. Narration set foundation. If they crossed the border and invaded, stern punishment awaited, but Jurchens who wanted to live as Jurchen people were welcomed with transforming barbarians into people, policy explained. Hari, she was one of those naturalized Jurchen. Introduction resounded. Naturalized Jurchen usually settled near Hanoi, but Hari came to live in the northern part of Jurchen. Narration revealed. Ominous silence settled heavy, atmosphere thick with unsaid meaning. Hari's village was always raided by Jurchens. Reminder cut deep. Breath sharp, urgency flared. Let go of me, that hurts, plea escaped. Men and women behave differently in Jurchen. Statement struck sharp. Well, I'm grateful for your help. Don't know what you expected, but I can't do anything for you. Reply dismissed. Didn't expect anything, but you're like different person from before. If I don't show pitiful look, I might really die. Confession admitted. Yeah, you're smart. Good job. You have bold personality too. The more I see you, the more you resemble her. Observation sharp. What is with that expression? Why are you looking at me with such sad eyes? Voice startled. No, haha, but why were people doing that to you? Because I'm a barbarian. Truth exposed. Naturalized Jurchen, who naturalized to Jurchen. That's what I am. Admission fern. I sell information to barbarians, wear a mask of Jurchen people and sell out the country. Despicable bastard. Confession cut heavy. Now, what are you talking about? Disbelief pressed. Why, do you regret saving me? Maybe you wish I had thrown stones with them. Stop. Challenge flared. I get it. Just stop. Shut your mouth. Demand struck sharp. With that face, that expression, don't say that, words softened. The strike landed heavy, air shuddered, figure stood rooted as tension spread thickly. Silence carried a weight greater than any shouted command. If what you're saying is true, leave this place right now. Voice cut sharp, cold eyes fixed on trembling figure below. Because next time, I'll ignore you even if you're in danger. Promise heavy, words like a blade severing fragile bond. Donnie is gone, admission echoed, hollow, grief pressing tight across heart hardened by reality's cruel edge. What did you expect from her? You don't need to think of her as Donnie. Donnie died 5 years ago. I know that, voice declared. Yeah, Donnie is gone now, I accept that, words burned, acceptance laced with sorrow, hands clenched tight. Go, that's just an illusion, truth shattered through darkness, echo lingering. An illusion born from my guilt, confession surface, guilt shaping reality. It's not real, overcome it, voice urged, tone commanding. Overcome it, repetition deepened resolve, weight carried heavy. The figure stood motionless, silence pressing harder, thoughts heavy like lead. Darkness cloaked horizon, words unspoken dissolved into distant hair. Clouds drifted faintly overhead, silence painted scene thick. Shadows stretched along uneven ground, breath slowed, unease lingered. Silhouette shifted faintly, tension vibrating within restless air. All I can, despair spilled, body faltering. The horizon burned dim, figure slumped lower, unwilling to rise. Wind whispered faintly, feet dragged heavy, burden crushing fragile stands. A spy of barbarians, a question tore sharp, suspicion spread. Yes, that's what our members heard when they went to the village. That Hari woman, naturalized Jurchen, every village she goes to, barbarians raid, accusation claimed. Yes, it could be just a rumor, but thought brought report. Aren't you pushing too hard? Isn't northern region raided constantly anyway? Hesitation added. The villagers are convinced she's a spy and are afraid of her. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Explanation pressed. It's just a rumor. This guy is paranoid, reporting on something trivial. Good job, dismissal rang. You're getting more qualified as you go on missions. Doubting, the first virtue of an informer. Reminder pressed firmly. Her name is AI, naturalized Jurchen, cold Hari in Jurchen style. We've been watching her since she came to this village. Report delivered. But isn't that too much? Without any evidence, just based on suspicion. You have to doubt, even if just suspicion. At least we do, Warning insisted. Barbarians who naturalized into Jurchen are still barbarians, our enemies, the fundamental reason why informers were created. Declaration firm. Don't trust any barbarian, otherwise you'll end up losing your life. Lesson carved like steel. Cold wind stirred heavy, unease remained thick. Eek, cry crack sharp, body reeled. Ash scattered faintly, smoke curled within empty horizon. What the hell are you doing? Anger cut fierce. You were so cold and rigid. Did it scare you? You were in front of the water. Why? Question pressed. Didn't you want to go into the water? You were so desperate. Helped you. Accusation sharp. You, words stammered, disbelief etched. Laughter broke light, lips curved mocking. You, sneer pushed sharp, disdain clear. Let go, you filthy bastard. Voice napped fierce, resistance struggled. Trees swayed faintly, moonlight pierced dark, horizon cold. Are you stupid? It's almost full moon. How did you expect to be fine after getting into water in this cold north? Scolding demanded. You dropped me, you wanted to go in. Accusation lay bitter. Why did you follow me? Suspicion sharpened. Have nowhere to go. Why? Do you hate me for following you because I'm a barbarian? No, that's not. Response pleaded. I don't know how I should treat you. You're Jurchen but have barbarian blood. Words edged. Conflicted turned pressed. I'm naturalized Jurchen, legitimate Jurchen person. I live here like you. Wandering northern regions suffering from raids. Declaration cut. First there were Jurchen people who ran away with me, avoiding barbarians. We helped each other, shared life and death, voice recounted. But as raids continued, everyone I went with lost their lives. I survived with their help, lucky to remain alive, confession carried. I survived alone, word sharp, tone resigned, vain strength. And then at some point, I got a weird label, bitterness weighed. She is a spy of barbarians, she's seed of disaster. Wherever she goes raids happen, accusation haunted her, truth spoken. Chosen person with barbarian blood, that's the treatment I get for surviving here. Resentment clear. Really, you're talking nonsense. Just let it go, rant, replied dismissive. My name is Hari. What's yours, Gwiyoung? Gwiyoung, introduction offered. Sorry, wanted to talk. Felt wronged. You happened to catch my admission given. Next time listen to you. You look like you have stories too. Next time can we meet again? Request made. Shadows thicken. Breath lingered heavy across dim ground. Trees swayed faintly. Darkness folded low. Be prepared. My story is quite long. Warning carried. You'll have to spare a lot of time to listen. Words firm. See you again. Farewell whispered. Footsteps echoed faintly. Silence stretched heavy. Air grew still. Quiet pressed closer. These young ones are pathetic. Can't even feed themselves, yet still follow me. Disdain-laced words. But today was somewhat successful. I'll report this story to superiors. It will be reflected as reference. Voice concluded. To begin with, that young kid being an informer, suspicion hinted. How? Surprise cracked. What were? Confusion startled. Branches bent faintly. Night deepened quietly. Gwiyoung, where are you? Call rang. What is it? Urgency pressed. Is it true you were with a woman named Hari 2 days ago? Suspicion voiced. Yes. What did you talk about? Demand snapped. Did you discuss anything related to the informer interrogation shop? That's why I told you not to be with that girl. What does that have to do with situation now? Frustration burst. I kept promise, didn't tell him anything about mission. Isn't that enough? But informer existence itself can't be revealed, defense asserted. If you went with her, anything could happen. Why just tell Gwiyoung to die? What are you saying, bastard? Accusation erupted. Stop. What are you doing right now? What are you talking about barging in like this? Demand fierce. The woman you were with yesterday, we placed surveillance on her, because she's Jurchen. Revelation cut. Did you know? Hari told me herself, even if rumor to go so far as surveillance. What, you knew? Shock widened. Gwiyoung, you knew she was Jurchen and still, are you on her side now? Question shocked. And what, Hari, don't tell me you became friends in a day. Accusation snap. Answer me. His ghost shadow helpless against women. Hey Dammy, calm down. Warning intervened. What is all this fuss about? The person following her disappeared. Report sudden. He didn't show at shift, missing 4 days. Last shifter said he chased you to the lake. Voice concluded. Yeah, and we think that Hari the Jurchen did it. Accusation struck gold. That's nonsense. Rejection echoed sharply. No, that isn't right. Why would lone woman need surveillance agent just because she's Jurchen? Isn't that too much? Challenge pressed. Just a Jurchen. Gwiyoung, is that something you can say as an informer? Demand snapped. What are you talking about? Barging in like that? What does that have to do with me? Anger fired. Gwiyoung, you bastard. No manners in front of leader. Business not mine. Nagging harshly, you son of bitch. Words exploded. Come on, stop it. Command intervened. The reason why Gitwa came instead of catching Jurchen right away, because reluctant to reveal former existence, voice explained. If that's the case, we'll use Gwiyoung to uncover identity of that Jurchen. Decision hardened. Whether spy or not, if we can get evidence and reveal truth. Just promise me one thing. Promise. What do you mean? Exchange sharpened. Acknowledge merit, make Gwiyoung an informer. Demand spoken. What are you doing on your own? Interruption flared. Who are you to make me informer? Let go. Gwiyoung resisted. Then how long are you going to clean dung? Don't you know this is another opportunity for you? Question pressed. Anyway, good job, Jumok. We'll clear false accusation against that girl. What are you talking about? I don't think she's falsely accused. Argument raised. Then what? You think Hari is spy too? No, I don't think she's spy either. Voice denied. Distant sounds carried across muted ground. What are you saying? Are you joking? Nonsense confidently. Is your brain all muscle? You kids. Mockery erupted. It is not nonsense. No evidence Hari is spy, but no evidence shows she's not spy either. Declaration cold. If that's not nonsense, what is? If no evidence, then she's not. We're informers. We need evidence she's not spy. Rebuttal sharp. Gwiyoung, know why you're defending her, but prove it like informer. Demand pressed. Gwiyoung, what are you? Accusation aimed. Why are you on her side? Your nickname Ghost Shadow, or Women Exception. When did I take sides? Suspicion challenged. Enough. Whatever reason, if chance to become informer, grab it. Uncovering truth of matter crucial for us. Command urged. So, what do we do? Question lingered. Elder, Cole sounded. I'll help you. Your load looks heavy. Offer given. What are you doing? You Jurchen bastard. Anger struck. Get lost. Rejection flared. She's too much. How can you react like that to helping? Disbelief voiced. Leaving that aside, thought you were only pretty, but your heart is also so kind. Admiration murmured. Ah, she collapsed. Is she crying? Should we comfort her? Concern whispered. Ah, a kitty. She's petting small cute kitty. Observation softened. Ah, again, those guys. Frustration sounded. Yeah, good job. Those bastards needed lesson. Approval rang. How about secretly give brats lesson? Fix roots first. Shut up, Dumok. You said to watch quietly. Dispute grew. We've followed Hari long already. No sign she's spy. Only appearance mistreated. Yeah, all we found is how badly she's treated. Report confirmed. It's not just that. She's excessively pretty and has good heart too. Dumok, voice teased. Isn't that strange? Strange what? Question answered. Yeah, only doing kind things as if she knows someone watching. Suspicion whispered. If you look at it that way, who wouldn't look like spy? Already midwinter. How long are we going to? Concern pressed. A shadowed face grimaced with tension, sweat trailing down his cheek as hostile words echoed, the atmosphere tightening with imminent violence and unspoken dread. This crazy bastard. Someone cursed, fury lacing their voices. Tension thickened, eyes narrowing on the unpredictable figure whose actions threatened everyone around them. Shock rippled through the group, cries of alarm rising as realization spread. His reckless strike had already crossed the dangerous line, igniting urgent hesitation. Another insisted to wait, voices urging restraint, choosing observation over reckless reaction, convinced watching a little longer might reveal intentions or justify harsh judgment. You Jurchen bastard, didn't I warn you not to stand out? Do you want to turn our village into battlefield? Harsh warning snapped. Hey, you bastard, what are you looking at? Just, a man roared, eyes burning with hostility, every syllable cutting like a drawn blade. I can't take anymore. How can we just watch that? Wait, if we reveal our existence so easily. Frustration cracked through an easy resolve. Hey Gwiyoung, someone shouted, urgency bursting, the call desperate as events spiral beyond careful control, forcing action against chaotic unfolding danger. Determination settled in his eyes as he muttered, this should be enough, it shouldn't be like this, a sharp decision shaping the moment. I'll kill you, one shouted, rage seething, blade glinting as he lunged with savage intent, the confrontation reaching a deadly, irreversible tipping point. Before you can kill anyone, another voice thundered back, a vow sharpened into defiance, refusing to yield even as steel clashed dangerously close. The damn Gwiyoung move, someone cried, urgency spiking as danger cut through chaos, forcing him to react against sudden murderous intent threatening to overwhelm. Dust scattered across the courtyard, steps colliding as chaotic motion blurred lines of friend and foe, bodies pressing violently toward inevitable collision. A fierce struggle erupted, arms flailing and legs bursting, violence consuming every heartbeat as the fight's outcome hung precariously in tense uncertainty. A sudden blow landed, the sound sharp, carrying tension through the crowd as the impact shifted the balance of the escalating conflict dramatically. Blood sprayed into the air, expressions contorting as the violence revealed its consequence, fear mixing with determination and chaotic desperation. Gasps tore through onlookers, bodies froze with dread, their voices strangled by realization of violence escalating far beyond restraint, danger uncoiling like venom. Smoke and dust churned violently, obscuring the scene as movements blurred, the clash unfolding amid roiling confusion where certainty and identity fractured dangerously. A breath escaped shakily, a small sound amidst chaos, grounding the moment with human fragility against the storm of sharpened conflict and blood. Hurry, a voice rang desperately, name cutting through mayhem, summoning hope and fear alike as eyes turned toward her amid swirling violence. Third let her go, chaser, the command cut short, bodies lunging, chaos driving momentum as the hunt surged after fleeting hope of control. What are you doing, Gwiyoung? Why are you? It's not you. Accusation burst, disbelief clashing with urgency as confusion deepened around his choice. It's not just the stun you threw, sharp recognition flared, realization dawning that skill behind the act revealed something far beyond ordinary strength. I'm chasing to Gwiyoung, Changron take that man to the clinic, decisive words carved through disorder, spitting responsibility as pursuit and care both demanded action. The opponent's fingers in just one moment, thought lingered sharply, marveling at speed and control displayed in fleeting instant, revealing dangerous mastery honed through hidden training. A shattered form surged through dust, body language radiating menace, as every motion carried weight of combat experience sharp enough to unsettle. The clash pressed forward, bodies straining against uncertainty, movements rapid and unyielding, chaos binding every participant into tightening spiral of confrontation. It's a trained skill. It's certain she's not an ordinary Jurchen woman, the declaration rang, certainty grounding suspicion with revelation of exceptional mastery. Eyes followed her figure darting into distance, realization settling like heavy stone battle had shifted irreversibly, no return from truth just revealed.